Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games, episode 262, and it's an extra special one.
Yes.
Why is that, Gabe?
Because the day of recording, which today is September 21st.
Why is that, Gabe?
2017. On September 21st, 2012.
Yeah,
was the
buddy.
very first pilot episode of Married to the Games. Happy 5th birthday, y'all!
Woo!
Yeah,
Happy 5th
birthday.
It got recorded like what, 3 times? Something like that?
Yeah.
Keep
That-
it down.
on our
Keep
third-
it down, newbie. We're celebrating right now. Keep it down.
Yeah, don't ruin
Yeah,
it, brother.
stop
Don't
pulling
ruin
back
it.
the curtain, Dorothy.
Hey,
My
wait a minute.
killjoy.
Y'all remember my first show? My mic wasn't even on. So.
Yep, you monster. We got
I'm
you.
not throwing shade. I'm just saying.
Now Tim's got another birthday party he has to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah, another 5-year-old birthday party.
Another
That's right.
5-year-old birthday party.
So
Exactly.
we are
Good on
we
you,
are
Ed.
officially 5 as a podcast. So what are we doing, Ed? What are we
Wow.
doing, Tim? We're in
Man,
kindergarten,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're definitely in
or
kindergarten.
we're probably in pre-K because we just turned 5. We were 4.
Oh, that's true.
Mm.
Yep.
Probably in pre-K. We're learning our numbers and our letters.
We're learning sight. Yep, sight words, letters. Yeah, the
We're
whole
learning
nine.
the tricky
We
stuff.
already
like
hate school.
No, we don't hate school yet because there's nap time and
I
snacks.
know.
We're
Yeah,
going
there's
outside
nap
to
time
play.
and recess.
That's not till like
Oh, yeah.
first
Yeah.
grade. I don't think you start hating it till after kindergarten.
Gotcha.
Hey, Gabe,
Yes.
it's a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe it. 5 years old.
5 years old, never missed a week.
I love
Look
you,
at
buddy.
that.
That's amazing.
There's not a lot of
That's so
podcasts
cool.
out there that can say that. I know that we harp on that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
I think
so.
it's impressive.
It is.
I
agree.
love it,
We've
man.
never done.
It's just a part of
We've
us.
never done like a best of episode where it's like, oh, we couldn't make it this week, so we're just gonna play y'all some old clips.
Right.
Never happened.
Never had to.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Through it's I can't believe it. It's crazy.
it feels good. I can't believe it either.
It really does, man. It does.
Feels
It
so good.
feels good. And we've got an amazing community, and
Yes.
it's just awesome. And to top it all off, it's a night show.
Night show.
Bring it in the night show.
Okay, so I gotta ask Ed.
Yes.
Ed's the only one besides me and Router who have seen this thing from episode 1
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah.
So you probably can speak on the community from a member of the community and then switching over to a member of the podcast. What are your takeaways for 5 years of Married to the Games?
You know what? It's weird because in some parts it feels like so long ago that I started listening
Mhm.
just because I was at a different job, different
Oh, yeah.
state or whatever. So it just seems like it's been longer than 5 years, but it was kind of cool that it seemed to not that it happened instantaneously, but it was like all of a sudden there was a community where for
Yeah.
a while there it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh man, we had 6 listens this week or whatever.
It was just you back in the day.
I know. And then all of a sudden it seemed like, oh, wait a second. There's people on Twitter talking and the message boards are going now. And it was
Yeah.
just kind of cool to see it all of a sudden just kind of click. That's been really awesome.
It has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. What
Yeah.
about you, Tim? You got a takeaway over the last 5 years? What's been cool to
Man,
see?
you know what it is? It's just, I think the reason why we do this consistently every week is it's just a part of us now. Like I don't know. It's just one of those things where, man, I can't wait to do the podcast. Like, and it'll happen again this week, and it happens again. And like, it's not that I'm not coming in like, oh, I got to do the podcast. I'm coming in like, yeah, man, we got the podcast. Let's do this. It's
Right.
It's just, it's that constant excitement and get feedback from the community and the fact that, we're answering questions. I love all of the interaction that we do. And I think that's why we do have such a great community of listeners and gamers, because we interact with them. A lot of people don't necessarily do that or do it on a very limited basis. And we spend half of our show on that. And I love that we did that almost from the get-go. And because I think it builds relationships and people know who we are and we know who they are, as we game with them and just chat with them and Discord with them and tweet with them and everything. So yeah, I love it. It's just a part of me, man. I can't see me not doing this. That's the funny part. Like I'm never going to be like, I'm just going to hang this up. I don't want to. Like, I'm going to just keep doing this as long as I can.
I like it.
That's awesome.
Chris, you've been around since like episode 30 something.
Yeah, but like our historian and I have a lot of other people, quite frankly, I was one of those people that went back to episode 1 and listened all the way through.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah. So, I mean, I all I can say is I can echo the sentiments of everybody else. And like, it was so awesome that when I jumped in, the community was like just coming to a head for the way it felt to me. Cause right around that time is when the forum was starting. And then it really went crazy once you had like an actual place to go and not just on Twitter or Facebook. It was like,
once there
okay,
was a
we're going to
voice.
aggregate everything right to here. And you could just hang out with everybody. It was one of the best things that I had done. And I've said on the show before, like I used to be a part of message boards for different, things like in the racing area and stuff. I was part of a bunch of different message boards and just kind of got burnt out on it. And then it took me finding a community that I wanted to be a part of again for that to become a thing that I realized, oh my gosh, I really missed this. This was a lot of fun. And finding Married to the Games was, the best place to have it at.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool.
I feel like people who do like what you did, Chris, and what Lem and other people are doing now, where they go back and listen to the early ones, they could probably speak more to how it's changed because I haven't re-listened to any. I've just been going in real time.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
me
it's
too.
kind of like, oh, you don't realize how big your niece has gotten until you're away for 4 years and you come back and, oh, wow, you shot up like a weed.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
if you're there every day, it's just kind of such a gradual change. You may not see that.
That's so true. Golly. It's been just an awesome ride. I think I never knew how much it would mean to me, like the podcast would mean to me, and the friendships that I've developed here would mean.
Yeah.
And I've shouted out people before, but it's just insane the camaraderie and like some of these guys and gals have become like lifelong friends. Like I'll know them for the rest of my life, regardless whatever happens with the podcast, And so that's the biggest, that's one of the big things. And then the other biggest thing is the century marks. To get to 100 and get to 200 and people actually show up and us get to like hang out and talk and laugh and eat pizza and do escape rooms together. Like that is like.
That was next level. 200 was so awesome.
Like 100, I remember going in so nervous when it was me, Router, and Hall, and Stancil was on board to help us out. And I just remember being like, oh, snap. Like, what if nobody comes? Like, there's a chance that not one person shows up. We're, you know what I'm saying? We're a grassroots podcast, and we're still a grassroots podcast. And and so you just get this real nervous feeling. And I'm asking Toby like, hey, could I use your studio to have some video game people over? And to have the guys show up that did, and the wives is like just so incredible. Chris was there at 100. And that was incredible. And then, going into 200 and us stepping our game up a little bit with the venue and getting to play the Jackbox games together and stuff like that and doing the escape room, all that just like turned out so great. And so it gets me so giddy for every time we're having something like that. And we are in talks about 300 and what we want to do. So just know that we know as listeners, it can be like pins and needles, not knowing what's coming.
Madison Square Garden,
exactly.
baby.
Me and Chris talked about it because Chris was one of those guys that was like, hey, I need to know this so I can take off work when it came to episode 100.
Right.
And we were like, we'll let you know. And now we were joking this last week about how nice it is that he's on this side now. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to get a plan together and try to figure out what exactly we're going to do.
That's exactly it, man.
Now he'll know 2 weeks before the event.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're welcome, Chris.
He'll know 3 days before everybody else. And so just thank you guys so much for 5 years. Thank you guys to my co-hosts for 5 years. Obviously,
Amen,
Router's
brother.
been here since day one. Ed's been here since day one in a way, and Chris has also been here since day one in a way. And and to everybody listening, we really, really appreciate you guys. We know that we only talk to I think I did the math the other day. I think we talked to 1% of you on Twitter and Facebook and, all the different ways.
Yep.
So to the 99% that listen to the show that don't interact with us on Twitter and stuff like that, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show and for supporting us and for being here week after week after week. We can't believe it, and we are humbled, and and in awe of you guys. And so we're glad to be able to share our lives with you and share the gaming news that comes out every week with you guys. And you guys have gotten to see our families grow. You've gotten to see, you know what I'm saying?
We've been through everything,
the
man.
podcast
Everything
family
together.
grow. You've gotten to see Hall move on, get to hear about him moving to California, and these guys really taking the reins and making this a place that feels like their own. It doesn't feel like it's still the Tim and Gabe show and Ed and Chris are here. It feels like, they've made it their own, and I think it's taking the next step, and it's amazing. So stay with us. We really appreciate it. This is episode 262 in a row.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's it.
We about this thing.
I was just going to say that. I'm Gabe Patillo. That's Tim Router.
Now let's roll out the best of clips. And take it.
Exactly. Anybody have a little Sarah McLachlan they want to play in the background?
That's right. Oh, that's
Nice.
Freaking Comcast.
That's right. That's right.
I wouldn't sleep. Tim Router,
Yes,
what
sir.
is going on with you this week, brother? What you playing? What's good?
Man, it's all kinds of crazy. Piper's topic of the week: the Nashville Predators are back in preseason, and they played their first game 2 days ago. So we watched a little bit of that. And man, I think I got a hockey girl in my hand. She's like so excited for this season, and we're gonna be able to go to a few games too, which is gonna be great. So yeah, she's all about the Predators right now, and that's always fun. My father is in the hospital right now for his 6th and final round of chemo.
Good.
He will be out on Sunday. We did, however, get some news that a month from now he will have to go back in for like 3 to 4 days because they have to do one more treatment, and this is really more preventative than anything else. One more treatment for his spine and brain because after the first round he got sick, and so I think they backed off the treatment to his spine. What they would do for him is a lumbar puncture. So they basically inject it right into the spine and that kind of stuff. And apparently they backed off that medication when he was sick after the first round. So the doctor was just like, look, this is, I just want you to be squeaky clean here. Let's just make sure. They're going to do another PET scan during that time as well. But I mean, I think he was a little bummed that he would have to go back in. But once the doctor kind of explained everything, he's been such a trooper, and he just kind of goes along with it anyway, which is awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, he's in now. He's been doing great. He he's still got his back brace on because of his compression fractures. He's got like 3 compression fractures on his spine, and that's caused from the steroid, the prednisone that he has to take throughout the chemo treatment. So it's so weird how one drug can affect another, and and all the side effects are so different to so many people. So it's so weird how chemo can affect different people in so many different ways. Yeah. And not only that, but the actual medications that kind of are in addition to what the chemo treatment is can also have side effects. So it's very weird. But it's great. Praise God. It's just, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and he's almost out of it. So it'll be really
nice.
good. Tomorrow we start our first walkthrough of the house.
Hey.
There you go.
Nice. I'm a little nervous because there's a lot of stuff they still got to do. And they ended up shattering one of the shower glasses in our master bathroom, scratching all of the tile and chipping away
How
at
did
some
they
of the
do that?
marble.
Like, what were they doing?
I have they were trying to
They're having a
install it, I
breakdance
think.
battle.
Yes.
Like universal people, go. Oh no, watch that glass.
Then one guy was like, all right, let me see if I can kung fu through this
I
glass.
bet you I can head spin on this tile.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, there's some stuff that hopefully they'll run and gun, because next Friday is our closing. That's what we have scheduled right now.
Right.
So not this weekend, but next weekend I will be in a new house, which is, it feels so good, and it's a great relief. And I just hate the whole moving process, but it'll feel good to actually own and operate our own house and not have roommates anymore.
Amen.
And, I mean, my in-laws, honestly, are amazing, and not a whole lot of people can live with their in-laws for about 6.5 months.
Yeah.
And I have amazing in-laws, so it's pretty incredible. Sorry. But yeah, so we're I think this weekend we've got, of course, a soccer game, and then we're probably going to start packing up some stuff. But I've got movers, and so I'm letting them handle all of our storage units and all that fun stuff. And I just want Lauren like at the front door delegating where everything goes, and all the small stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just start piling up in our cars and take it back and forth and back and forth. But yeah, so next weekend's going to be a little hectic, but it's going to be good. I
good kind of hectic,
so
though.
It's going to be great. Yeah, it is a good kind of hectic. We're really
like
fortunate, and yeah, it's been really great. Other than that, man, just life. I mean, Piper's got so much stuff going on. Like the weeks are pretty crazy. She's loving kindergarten, which is great. And then Tuesday through Thursday, we have extracurricular activities. So after school on Tuesday, she's got soccer. Wednesday, she has 2 hours of dance. And then tonight was gymnastics. And it's just like, there's just a lot of juggling. Like we're the school parents now, and it's just a whole nother ball of wax. But I think we're in a good groove now, and Piper's doing really well in school. And so I'm super proud of her for that. And
nice.
So yeah, everything's coming along nicely. On the gaming front, first off, I got new headphones, which I'm super excited about because I got to take a picture of my Sony Golds because it's just duct tape along the entire headset because the stupid things kept breaking. Not at the actual head earpiece, but at the top,
the hinges and whatnot.
Yeah, the hinges just kind of crease up, and then one day, like I put it on and pop, it just cracked. So went down, got the old duct tape, wrapped it up. And then it did it again a couple days later. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get some new ones.
Well, and they won't let you move into West Haven with headphones like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's broke. And West Haven don't do broke, apparently.
They sure don't.
Oh, good Lord.
Hey, Doc, you're going to have to get some A50s or something, man, before we're coming up here.
That's right. You're going to have to get some. Yeah, so I ended up getting... I did some research, and I got the Steel Series. It's the Siberia P800s. So I'm super excited. It's got a mic that kind of comes out of the earpiece, so I'm not going to have like an inside mic or anything. So the next streaming, you'll probably hear a huge difference in my voice, which will be amazing. And I quickly put it on before the podcast and like threw a little Dishonored in there. I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds incredible. So
nice.
It's like it's the Sony Elites all over again. The first time that I put them on and my world got rocked, I'm like, oh, this is even crispier than the Golds too. And I don't even have it on the optical yet. I haven't been able to set that up just because the way that the setup is up here.
It's like who's the company?
Steel Series. I think they're a UK based company. Actually,
I never heard of that before.
But I don't think that's the brand. The brand is like Siberia or something.
The model I think is a Siberia P800.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Siberia
Gotcha.
P800.
Okay, I had it backwards.
The brand is Steel Series. So steelseries.com. They do a lot of just computer hardware and headsets is one of them. And I just did some Google searching them, and they kept coming up in like top 3 gaming headsets. And
nice.
And a lot of those top 3s, top 5s are always skewed a little bit. So I just kept looking around and read some reviews, and I'm like, man, and plus I got them cheaper because they're normally like $250 or something, and Amazon had them for like $199. I'm like, done.
Yeah, there you
go.
Oh, nice.
I got that Prime, so I ordered it on Tuesday and I got them today, and boom, done. So
love it.
Yeah, I'm excited for these. I'm breaking away from the Sony brand, and so I'm kind of excited. So it'll be good. But on the gaming front, man. I was inspired because we were talking last week about the new release for Dishonored, and I'm like, oh man, you know what? I need to grab that. So, Chris, you'll be proud. Digital download of Dishonored.
Nice.
Death of the Outsider, and I went ahead and do it, and that's all I've been playing, and it is so much fun. And I've been taking so much time. Like I just started chapter 3, so it's like it's so good, and it's a good continuation / side, whatever story, whatever you want to call it. And I'm really loving it. And I just love what Arcane does. They do it right. And there's some different powers now that you have, which I think are really fun. And so, yeah, I'm all into this because in a couple weeks we've got Shadow of War coming. So I think this is my nice little filler in between there. So I was going to play Until Dawn, and I think that's going to take a back seat now. And I know Watch Dogs 2 is taking a back seat. It's just sitting there, but I'm like, man, there's too much coming out this fall. So
Yeah,
like
there
I said
is.
last week, like Watch Dogs is just going to have to sit down for a little bit, and because Daddy's a little bit more excited about some other stuff right now.
Yeah, Watch
So-
Dogs.
That's the way it goes.
Be humble.
Right?
Yeah,
Sit
that's right. Sit down. Be humble. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. Getting ready to pack and move, and in 2 weeks I will be podcasting probably in a different attic. I'm kidding. I scouted it out. I think that front room is going to work out perfectly because it's not too close to Piper's room upstairs, so she wouldn't hear anything from underneath, and it's separate from where our master bedroom is. So
And our daughters are getting old enough to where, like, even if they do hear us podcasting, it's not like they have to get up every time they hear it now. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were
Exactly.
3, it's
Exactly.
like, Daddy's up. And so they had to come and see what
Yeah.
was going on. But
Exactly.
now they're like actually
Right.
exhausted from school and need their sleep.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. Now they're so tired. Like last night we were at dinner and Piper was falling asleep at the table. I'm like, yes, this is going to be great.
Right.
Throw her right in bed, and she was done yesterday. So yeah, it was nuts. So that's it for me.
Chris McCracken,
Yes.
what it do, Doc?
Well, I've been doing a lot of shooting at work. I feel like in the last 2 weeks.
I'm never going to
and
get
then-
used to that phrase.
I know, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, American Sniper.
Shooting video. Yeah, I keep letting out,
What
out
gun
of
did
the
you
bag how
use?
I'm actually a secret op for the CIA. I need to quit saying this
Right.
over and over and over.
That movie American Assassin is really about him.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We've been doing a lot of video projects and a lot of shooting on location, shooting video. The last 2 weeks, we've done at least 3 days each week. And then next week, we're doing 3 days. And then we have a little bit of a break. And then when we get to the middle of October, I'm going to have 2 weeks straight where we're doing a ton of shooting.
Is this all
Man.
for holiday stuff?
Some of it is for holiday stuff. Other things is in preparation for post-holiday stuff.
Wow. It's amazing
and-
how much you have to like
Be
think in
ahead of the
advance
game,
and
yeah.
shoot in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, like on the photo side, like for catalog and all that stuff happens. Like that's been happening since March or earlier than
Oh,
that.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the only reason ours has to wait so long is because we don't get like legitimately working samples until closer to when they're actually going to go.
Oh, interesting.
Or it sometimes
right.
it depends. It depends. Like some of the products, like you can take a photo of a prototype and nobody's going to know because they're not having to actually see it functioning. And then when we get it, it's like, oh, there's actually no electronics in that thing, let's say, because it's
Right.
just a shell because we were just doing it for the photo. So I have to wait for an actual functioning unit. And sometimes those just take a lot longer to show up. But yeah,
Can you
so we're
imagine
gonna
being
be-
the guy that takes the picture of the Xbox One X? He's like, ooh,
my
yeah,
gosh.
get to take picture. Oh, why is it so light? Oh, it's empty.
It's hollow.
Yeah, it's just
Aw.
it's just a 3D printed thing.
That's funny.
By the way, real quick, because you brought up the One X, I think it was Scott Baker was saying on Twitter. He said Xbox One X, Xbox 10, Xbox 110. So now forever, I will call it the Xbox 110. That's what I'm calling
Nice.
the Xbox One X because I just think that's
The
hilarious.
Roman numerals. I love it.
Yeah. So the Xbox 110 is what I will hereby call
All
it
right,
forever.
cool.
and always.
I'm in. That sounds good. It's got a nice ring to it.
The 10 bucks 110.
10 box 110. There you
10 bucks, 110. Look at you.
10 Ox
Ed.
110.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds like something over CB radio. 10 box 110. I got my 10 box 110.
Roger that, Roger.
Yeah. I see a piggy in the bushes on 10 box 110.
Yeah, picking the bushes. I got picking in 4 bushes.
Skidamarinky dinky doo on the 1095.
Yeah,
We can do
Roger.
herd. We can do herd.
Roger. What's your vector? All right.
But outside of all the stuff I've been doing at work, Stacy came home this past Saturday, so she's back
Yeah.
in the house. It's good to have
You're
her
married
home.
again.
Yeah, and we thought she was only gonna be here a week. She's actually gonna be here 2 weeks before she has to head back
Oh,
out.
nice.
So
Oh, that's
a
great.
nice little bonus week that we're gonna get to squeeze inside of there. We've gone and seen a couple of houses last weekend when she came in, and the plan right now we're trying to work it out to where we can see a few more this coming weekend. I have a side photo job I got to do on Saturday, so it just depends on if we can fit them in and around there. So that's to be determined whether or not that's going to actually happen. But regardless,
Yeah.
we're going to fit in as many house viewings as we can while she's here because it's just makes so much more sense to do it when we're both able to be there,
Right.
rather than
yeah.
just me going there. It just kind of feels a little weird, honestly.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, was it yesterday? I'm so turned around. Yesterday, Mr. Gabe Patillo came to town, and Stacy and I took the day off, and we
Boom,
just hung
shakalaka.
out all day long.
Nice.
And it was
So
awesome.
jealous.
Like it
That's
is
awesome.
every single time. Yeah, no, it was just so great. He finally got to meet, he had met Kale before, but he got to meet Katie, which is Kale's
Katie and
fiance,
Kale.
obviously. Yeah.
The duo.
Yeah, of
Right.
Katie and Kale fame. Of Katie and Kale, my landlord fame.
There it is.
And so he finally
And
got
their
to
album.
meet them.
And I got to get their
Yeah.
album and hear them sing live, which was fun.
Yeah, it was great. We put on a little acoustic show. It was amazing.
Katie and Kale.
then our friend Janice from Oklahoma just happened to be in town, coming into town that day. She's here for a little conference.
I thought
right
it was
now.
Yanis.
So she got. No.
Oh,
Well,
you
I
say
mean,
the
if
J?
Maybe if she was down in Mexico.
J
it'd
is
probably
silent.
No way,
be
she was
Yanis.
never answering me. I was like, Yanis. Never mind.
Jeez.
She's like, I'm not Greek.
But she was in town for like a conference, so she got to meet up with us and have lunch as well. So that
Nice.
was a lot of fun. And we got to go see the show last night. I can't remember the name of it. It was like something for hope. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
basically to raise money for the hurricane stuff that's been happening in Houston and then, in Florida. And they raised a ton of money. I think that they announced at the end of the night that they raised a little over $500,000 or something crazy like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it was
Nice.
ridiculous. And everybody did an amazing job. Like all the different acts, like I just over and over, they had comedians there. Like I didn't really know what to expect exactly. I just knew that the list of people going out on stage was a lot of them. And it was just a great time. And then all the time that we got to spend with Gabe, we got to go just chat about everything. It's like whenever we get to meet up together, because fortunately, like I've said before, Texas is a big place. And so Toby comes to Texas, fairly often. It's like every time the Gabe comes, just like, what, really? It's like 11:30 at night and you got to get back on the bus and go. it's just like the time just flies.
After
because
we've been
we're,
all
just,
day,
we're
yeah.
just hanging out for so long and just enjoying our time. So it
That's
always feels
awesome.
too short, but it was awesome at the same time.
Right, it was.
On the gaming front, it's been nothing but Destiny 2. I'm all Destiny 2.
There's a shock.
There's
Love
nothing
it.
happening. We did last Saturday, so the raid had dropped. So we went ahead and tried. We got a team together and we tried the raid. We made it to about halfway through, and then we had to call it. We had been playing for about 6 hours.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's awesome.
Halfway.
But the crazy thing is,
That's like Ed
is
playing
that
time.
on the second room or encounter, I guess you will call it, of the thing, there's this certain mechanic you have to do, and you have to do this mechanic, and you have to do the same task, if you will, 3 times, but there's different steps to the task. I'm trying to be a little bit vague for somebody who maybe doesn't want to know, wants to go in a little bit blind. And at this one point, you have to do something, and you're supposed to hear a click. And when you hear a click on these 4 sides, then there's supposed to be this sound, and then you go to the center and you fight like a boss guy.
Like a boss.
And we
Like
would
a
get to the
boss,
end,
like
we
a
would hear the
boss.
click, but then the sound would never happen. And we were like, we were banging our heads against, we spent like 3 hours trying to figure out what are we doing wrong. And then finally somebody was like, maybe it's bugged out. So we went to orbit, which is basically the same as just leaving out of the raid. And then we went back because it's checkpoints, and we beat it on the very next one because it was
You're kidding.
it was glitching out, and we just couldn't figure out that
Wow.
that's what the
No
problem
way.
was. Yeah. So it's possible we could
Good
have
on you.
gotten much further had we not spent 3 hours on one room in particular that
Oh my
was an
gosh.
issue that we didn't mess up. But
Jeez.
regardless, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy. I mean, the raids are always, if you get into Destiny, the in-game stuff is always like the best stuff about it. And in particular, the raids are like the best thing in the game. And I mean, when I say they're the best thing in the game, I mean like each raid that came out, I played them all many times over and over. So it's like, it's so much fun to just do again and again and again. And you get like the best gear out of it and everything. So there's definitely a draw for me. And the plan right now is to take another crack at it this coming Saturday, hopefully.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to get it done. And if we finish the raid, and then I started a second character, which is a warlock. So if I finish the story with him and unlock all of his subclasses, then I just have to do the third class, which is the Titan, and do all of his. And that'll be 3 trophies that it'll get me. And there's 1 trophy that I'll have left, and I'll have the platinum.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Holy
So I'm only
cow,
4
that's awesome.
away.
Dude.
But I really
So
need
is
to
it
finish the
is it
raid.
an easy platinum?
If you're playing the game and you get hooked on the game, then yes, it's an easier platinum than Destiny 1 was. There was this one trophy. So they have this this PvP event called, in Destiny 1 it was called Trials of Osiris, but now it's called Trials of the Nine. And what it is it's the most difficult thing to do in the game on the PvP side. And if you get 7 wins in a row without ever losing, you go to this area. It used to be in the previous game, it was called the Lighthouse. Now I don't know exactly what they call it, but that's like the highest like thing you can achieve in PvP. And there was a trophy that said you have to go see the emissary in Trials. And I was trying to do research on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think you're going to have to get a flawless run to get this trophy. Because in Destiny 1, they had a trophy called Flawless Raider. And that meant that you had to complete a raid with nobody in your team dying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And I achieved that. And like with Spencer Stapleton, actually, and a couple of other people, we got that. We did that. But the thing is against PvE, like player versus environment it's just a matter of getting your level up and formulating a good strategy. And in a way, you can say the same thing about PvP, but there's just it's more difficult to play against other people.
Yeah,
and I'm not by any means like,
yeah.
I'm not like a PvP like mastermind, you know, I can hold my own okay, but I'm not like a boss at. So I was like, if I have to go flawless, it's probably not going to happen. So what it ended up being was you just have to get 1 win. And then you go to this emissary person and turn in your token and the trophy pops. So I was like, oh my good. Thank you.
That's right. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
That's awesome.
I want to get this. I want to get this trophy. So it really just, if you just play the game and you play all 3 characters, just by naturally playing,
You should pop.
you'll pretty much earn almost every single trophy. There's only a few you're gonna have to really work for getting, and that's like the last few that I have to get. So
Nice, man.
yeah, so I'm excited to get it and have Destiny 1 and Destiny 2's Platinum on my virtual shelf, if you will.
Yes, that will look awesome.
Yep. But that's pretty much it for me.
Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what is going on with you, man?
Lots of games.
Ooh.
It's been a good week.
I like that.
Nice.
It's every week for you, man.
I know.
So jealous.
Like Router, I jumped into Dishonored, Death of the Outsider.
Yeah, you
and so much fun.
Giggity.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and by the way, thank you for taking the reins on the YouTube channel, because I mean, I did Dishonored too, but because of the headphones and all that other stuff, I was just like, oh, Ed, take it away, because you.
Yeah.
Can we underscore that 3 times? Because I feel like it's just Ed's YouTube channel now.
Yeah,
Because
I'm fine with that. I have no problems
Married
with that,
to the
because you do an amazing job anyway, so it's great.
Oh,
he does do an amazing job.
It's such a fun game, and it really reminded me of Hitman. Just
What?
because
A little
Oh,
bit.
really?
Well,
because
if
the
you go
levels are
non-lethal.
Well, yeah, because the levels are so huge. There's so many different contracts you can do on each level besides the main mission, and then there are so many ways to complete your mission. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
just,
really cool.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Are you doing non-lethal? Or are you
I do in non-lethal, dude.
Sir.
At the end of each chapter, it gives you a little graph, and it tells you, it puts the dot where you fall on that graph. And I'm always right in between everyone noticed you and everyone died.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Did you play Hitman like that too?
Not on purpose.
Oh, jeez.
I want to be sneaky, but it never works out
Is
that
it because
way.
of your patience?
No, it's just because if someone sees me, I just freak out and I just start killing people.
Oh my gosh.
That's his Twitch.
Lord have mercy. That's yeah.
Oddly enough, that's what I do in real life
Yes.
as well. So it's
There you
it's
go.
weird.
Why do you think he moved to Indiana?
Exactly.
Small town.
Everyone in Pennsylvania is dead now.
He's his town's it.
That's right.
Exactly.
But like Router mentioned, there are a couple new powers. It took me a little bit to get the hang of a couple of them, but once I did, man,
Right?
I'm using them like crazy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's exactly what I do too.
So much fun. And I beat the game.
Oh, good.
And I'm actually when I was about halfway through the game, I started replaying it off of the channel just so I could do like Router, and I'm doing this super slow. I want to explore everything. I want to find everything type of a route. So I'm doing a little bit better that second time around with my sneakiness. And now that I'm used to the game and how it plays and what have you, it's a little easier for me at least to be sneaky and choke someone out rather than scream in terror and just start stabbing.
Scream, flee, then slash. I love that. That's awesome. You know what's tricky? What's kind of tripping me up a little bit is that there's a lot of civilians. So like you go in like a neutral area, and there's a few guards and then there's civilians. But if you do something, the civilians alert the guards. So I'm almost like taking out all the civilians while I go as well, because then you don't get noticed. If you're going for that, I don't want to be noticed, I want to be as stealthy as possible, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. I've always considered Dishonored for me to be a stealth game, because I do the non-lethal and I want to be not seen as much as I possibly can. But the civilians can kind of rat you out a little bit. So I'm going, and if there's just one by himself, I'm like, all right, well, I'm choking you out and throwing you somewhere so that you're out of the way. But
there are some civilians who are almost like wannabe guards, where they're just like the workers in the street. But if they see you, they'll start screaming.
Yeah, I've been beaten by a pole or a paintbrush or something. I don't know what it was. I was like, why is this guy hitting me? Oh, okay. So I've got to get him too. That's great, man. I'm glad you finished it though. I'm looking forward to it.
It was a lot of fun, and I just like it's a fun world to run around in. It was a good time. Got to jump in and try out Junkertown on Overwatch.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's such a fun map. They did such a good job with it. It's not like space, where I'm still trying to figure out the space map and get it down. Like I'm still lost half the time.
That map is huge, though. Yeah, that's like the biggest. Yeah. Or I haven't played Junkertown, but up until then, at least, that was the biggest map in the game easily. So
yeah, and Junkertown, it feels like it's a pretty good size, but it's just easier to follow where everything is. And then there's a nice little end to the map where it's similar to the end of the Hollywood map, where you can just be on that point forever fighting back and forth and no one moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a big curve at the end of this map that the entire length of the curve is just one big choke. And it's just, you're just working and working and working. And it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
They updated. Go ahead.
I just love that you own Junkrat now, man. I think it's hilarious. Like that is your go-to.
It's so much fun. They did the updates to Mercy and Diva, and those are the new tweaks are in effect now for everyone. So it's been a fun time to go in there and play characters that you're used to but are totally different. So that's been a good time to mess around with as well. And then Sarah and I have gotten hard into Lego Dimensions again, and just Lego Batman, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Midway Arcade World, which it's so much fun to play Spy Hunter again, and Paperboy. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So yeah, it's been a nice week of gaming all around. Sarah's mom left for Florida, and so we are actually taking care of her old dog for her while she's gone. So it's nice to have a dog in the house. We're both dog people. And,
you guys are.
What does May think of all this?
She stays upstairs. She does not. She's
like, screw that. I'm out of here.
We moved everything upstairs into the extra room, her food and her litter box and everything.
That's
so she's
funny.
not coming downstairs. So
nope.
It's been nice to have a dog in the house again. We both missed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's been our week.
I like it.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, Mr. Patillo, hit us up. So why are we recording on a Thursday night? Tell us everything.
Oh, man. Well, shoot. The same reason we recorded on a Tuesday morning last week.
So
these random Wednesday shows. And so
you never get a Wednesday show.
I know, it's so weird. So I got to give a quick shout out to Blake and Kelsey in Kansas. They're from our community. I don't remember off the top of my head his Twitter handle or anything, but MTTG family, got to meet up with them last week. I put up a picture on Twitter, and I thought I talked about this already, but I was like, no, we did the show like a week and a half ago. It's what it feels like.
It feels like so long ago.
It really does. Forever ago.
Tuesday of last week and then Thursday of this week. So, so got to meet them, and it was just a great time to sit and talk with those guys. He was there at the same Kansas City State Fair thing that we were doing. He was there repping his radio station that he works at. Obviously, I was there with Toby, and we were doing a show, so I got to meet him and his wife, and that was really fun. And I don't know if you guys remember, but they were the ones that we talked about where to go in New York, because that's where they were going for
I do remember
their honeymoon or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
So that was them. So that was fun. At the Radio Carter, thank you, Chris McCracken.
Nice.
Gotcha.
And
Gavin.
Gotcha.
And so that was awesome. And then speaking of Century episodes, I got to be on play some video games, which funny enough, or PSVG, funny enough, if you search like play some video games podcast, they don't come up, but you have to search PSVG. So that's what I was on.
Really?
I was on.
You mean like on iTunes or something?
Yeah, like I went on
just
iTunes
Google.
or something and put play some video games in, and they didn't come up. And then I was like, let me just try. I was like PSVG, and they were the first things that came up. So,
Interesting.
yeah, right. So got to be on their 100th episode last week. We are proud uncles as here at Married to the Games. We've there's been a lot of podcasts and websites birthed out of this podcast, and so it's always fun to watch them get up and going and doing their thing. So Donnie, thank you again for reaching out and having me on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was a fun time, and it was like Nintendo freaking Central over there.
No.
Sure.
Because,
No.
yeah, well, not only
What is Nintendo?
Not only does Donnie love Nintendo, obviously, but then like they had a Nintendo Direct last week, so it was like just so happened that a bunch of news was Nintendo anyway, and I was like, doggone
Yeah,
it.
there was a lot to talk about.
I was like, thank God I bought a Switch. Like, hang in here on this conversation. I'm not like, oh, really? That sounds cool. Oh, I'd love to try that. So I didn't have to.
Mario's back at it again, I hear.
Really? Nipples, huh?
He's a rascal.
I can't believe they gave him nipples. So that was fun. I guess people are tripping that he's got his shirt off and has nipples. I mean, shouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't he?
It would be anatomically correct.
I think
yes.
Sora had nipples from Kingdom Hearts 3 when he had his Kingdom Hearts when he had his shirt off.
But then again, he
There you
lives in
go.
a world where his hat has eyeballs. So I don't know. Maybe people will be like expecting him to be more
Different.
pristine, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I say
I don't know.
I say bring on shirtless Mario, man. You do your thing, Doc.
That's
He
right.
does everything cool.
Mario.
Mario. Ooh. So that was fun being on PSVG. And then yeah, man, got to freaking hang out with the McCrackens. That was awesome.
That's so
All
cool.
day yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
So
I couldn't
jealous.
believe it worked out so well. And it was nice to be a reason that somebody took off work.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
the middle of the week. Like Wednesday is probably the best day to take off work. Because you're like,
Yeah.
it's hump day. Then you go back to work. You only got 2 days left till the weekend. What?
Right.
So that's fun.
That's what I did right when I walked in. Guess what? I only got 2 days of the weekend. What? I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, like, what's he so excited about? He's like, 2 days to the weekend, baby. Yeah. So that was fun. And then we head back out to Pennsylvania again this weekend. And we're going to, I don't remember exactly where we're going to be at. But we're going to be somewhere back up in Pennsylvania. Bloomsburg.
Nice. Woohoo. Bloomsburg.
Yeah, so I think it's a fair. So if anybody want to go to the fair up in Bloomsburg, PA, your boy will be there. So
Nice.
holla at me. And then I've been really torn on the bus when it comes to gaming.
Uh-oh.
Oh, why? What's
Well,
happening?
because like I kind of want to be like, I never watched Stranger Things. And
Yeah.
then like, but then also like there's comedy specials coming out every week. Seinfeld's just came out.
Yeah, it
And
did.
then I have Mario and Rabbids. And then like I should get caught up on The Walking Dead. It's just like so many things pulling my
Yeah.
and I end up just having good conversation until it's 4:00 in the morning and then going to bed. I end up not in
But
taking
that's
any
good.
kind of entertainment.
That's not a bad choice.
That's not a bad
Yeah.
choice at
I
all.
know,
man.
but that's what I usually do when I'm on the bus.
But what's wrong with that? Everyone, I should be so lucky to have great conversation every night. Everyone would want that. Not that I don't, but I'm saying like that's what everyone would wish.
I don't know, man. I kind of wish I was playing video games half the time. That's like half my life.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of with you on that. I'm like, yeah, screw
Like,
conversation. Let's get some video
I need
games
to
going.
make a shirt that says I'd rather be playing video games.
Than
Right.
talking to you.
No, not that, but just period. Like there's so many times in my life that I'm like driving somewhere or I'm in a conversation or I'm watching a television
Yeah.
show that sucks. And I'm like, I'd rather be playing video games.
Right?
We'll start up another
No, I'm with you on
podcast
that.
called I'd Rather Be Playing Video Games.
There you go.
So yeah, once I got home, man, I mean, obviously it was, straight to work with the kids, but after that, it was that Destiny 2 life, man. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
You got
Oh
bit.
man,
You got bit.
I've been bitten hard, and I really, really like it. And again, like I haven't done much
Nice.
with people. Like I've enjoyed just like I'm not a person that did the story with people. I did the story by myself.
I meant to ask, because you completed the story, right? And how was it at being the story guy that you are?
I thought it was great, and I thought they laid it out well. I thought that it had an arc. I thought it made sense. It had humor in it. It had heart in it, which was all missing from Destiny 1.
I was going to say, so it's better than 1.
Oh, yeah, Destiny 1's like, you in space, right?
Jeez.
And like these aliens, right?
Right.
Hey, you see that
And then you
alien
get
over
this
there?
gun, right?
Shoot him, Doc.
You see that one? That one right there came from the moon.
Yeah. That right there came from the moon.
Exactly.
You should cap that. You should cap that alien. And then like, so you fighting. It's like, hey, guess what, Doc? You like what? He's like, credits. You like, oh.
I love how the game was written by Chico Gonzalez.
That's right.
Exactly.
When I watched the playthrough of the campaign, it just made me think again, wow, Nathan Fillion really is Nathan Drake.
What?
Really?
Just because the way he did the humor and everything, I always thought he looked like Nathan Drake.
Oh yeah, Cade
And
6.
I'm like,
sorry, I got so caught up when you said Nathan. My mind automatically went to. I don't know why, but it went to Nolan.
Did you go to
Yeah,
Nolan
I went
North?
to Nolan
Yeah,
North
I did too.
and him playing the
okay.
ghost.
I did too.
And so, but like,
okay, gotcha.
Cade 6. Sorry, yes.
yeah. It was just he did the humor that he did. It was really good, like you said. I enjoyed that.
He had a great way, and it goes to the writers too. A great way of delivering a line that sounded improv, but you know it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Because it was like, they would have had to build the whole game around that line.
Right.
And so but he did so good at making stuff sound like, what was that poncho line, Chris, that we were talking about that was so good?
I don't remember exactly, but there's this NPC that you meet in the game named Hawthorne. She's a person who lives outside of the city, and people aren't supposed to live outside the city because it was dangerous, and then blah, blah, blah. And she's walking through, and he said, like, he says something to the effect of, oh, you would have made a good hunter or something like that, because he's the leader of the hunter class or race, if you not really race, but class, if you will. And then she says, no, I never was much for a cape. He says, I hear you. Nice poncho, because she's wearing this poncho looking thing.
Extremely long poncho.
Oh.
Definitely.
It looks
That's
really
amazing.
dumb, but it's almost kind of looks like it has a hood similar to the capes do and everything. It's very similar. He's like,
that's
yeah,
funny.
Exactly.
nice poncho.
And so it's just lines like that seemed like it was real, like they acted it out for real. And so the writing's just so good on it. And there was just like, Chris, don't you agree that there was just so much more heart in this one? And like, there seemed to be like a reason for the game to exist more than the first one, Vanilla Destiny.
Yes, and I'm glad that you just underscored it in that way, that we're talking vanilla Destiny, because I was telling Gabe, I was like, look, if you had played the expansions, like from the Taken King and then to some extent the Rise of Iron, which were the last two expansions in Destiny 1, they kind of ushered in this way of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So the Taken King in particular was basically all featured around, like Cade 6 was the person that was carrying you and like pushing you through the whole thing. Whereas on this one in particular, you're kind of spending a good amount of time with each of the different vanguards. But Cade 6 really came into his own with the Taken King. And then he became like, that's why he's on a lot of the marketing material. And that's why they put him so front and center, is because people really fell in love with him in the Taken King. So it was good to see that it kind of, they just are continuing on with doing things that way and making sure that the main guys, like Gabe was saying before, like these are the dudes that are like the heads of these different classes. And in Destiny 1 Vanilla, it's like they just kind of stand in the tower and they're just like, hey, can you go get this thing for me on Mars?
Right.
And that's basically it.
If you could go find Avon Barksdale, we'd really appreciate it.
I love it.
So I've just been like, washed by the waters of Destiny 2.
Nice. That's
Well
awesome.
done.
I'm glad.
And
to
I
hear that.
do think that people could jump in here
Yes.
and
Yeah.
shouldn't feel intimidated by not playing the first one. It's going to be a little
Nice.
much to get used to
Oh,
the
good.
inventory system like we've talked about, early on, but like you'll get used to it and they highlight the right stuff and things like that. So I say
Nice.
give it a try if you're like, but I didn't play the first one. Because I'm like that. So I understand people being like that. I was like that with Mass Effect. They're like, dude, Mass Effect 3 came out. I was like, I know, but I didn't play 1 or 2. They're like, don't worry about that. Just jump in on 3. And then when they brought 2 to PlayStation, I was like, doggone it. And so I played 2, then played 3.
Nice.
So yeah, loving that. That's been it for me. And Tim Router.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
got it?
For 5 years I've had it. So let's do this.
Let's do it!
Boom,
I
shakalaka.
got a
Here
little
we go.
confidence.
New releases
He's
this
talking
week.
about allergies.
Yes, for 5 years I've had pollen issues. True story. 5 years I haven't been able to breathe. All right. New releases this week: Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for the PS4, PC, and Xbox One. Or what did we say? 10-1?
10
10-1. We'll
box
say 10-1.
110.
Xbox
10
110.
box
The
110.
10 box 110.
NBA 2K18, PS4, Xbox One, PC, 360, and PS3.
Get your slam dunk on.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Oh, yes. Oh, continue. Blackguards 2 for the Xbox One and PS4.
Get your Black Panthers on. I don't know.
Get your, Black-
No idea what that game's about.
get your fists up in the air on.
You get your fist pick on.
That's right. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus sounds horrible, but
Yeah.
anything with Afterbirth just is like, ooh.
Get your placenta on.
Get your yes, sir. Thank you.
Gross.
Well played. For the PS4, The Coma
Get your
Recut.
sleep on.
Also for the PS4, Patapon.
Get your paddle on.
Hey.
Get a pat on. For the Xbox One, PC, and PS4, Raiders of the Broken Planet.
Get almost your Harrison Ford on.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Nintendo Switch.
Get your Goku on. Get your Super Saiyan on.
No, there it is. So new releases I think we're going to see a little light for the next 2 weeks. And then, in October, it's just going to be ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, we have NPD for August. So let's get into it, shall
get your
we?
numbers on.
Do it.
Get your numbers on. Here we go. So consumers spent a total of $282 million on software for both PC and consoles last month, down 3% from the year before. EA was the best-selling publisher in August, and Madden NFL 18, which debuted on August 25th, was the overall top-selling game of the month as well.
Spoiler alert.
Well, yeah, we'll get to it, but I mean, you have to say this. Madden NFL 18, August 25th.
Wow.
So there was only 6 days left in that month, and it destroyed.
That's insane.
Wow.
So here are the numbers. Total $568 million, down 2% from last year. Hardware was $168 million, down 6%. Console software $271 million, down 2%. PC software $11 million, down 23%. Accessories $118 million, up 10%. Here we go.
Get your broken headphones on.
Get your broken headphones on. All right. For the top 10 games for the month of August. Number 10, Overwatch.
Hey, all right.
Good.
Number 9, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Number 8, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
Ah.
Number 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, nice.
Number 5, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Splatoon 2.
Okay.
Get your Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Get your Switch on.
Yeah.
Number 3, we didn't mention this, but number 3, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. So that's where it debuted.
Nice.
There you go.
Number 2, you're gonna love this, Grand Theft Auto 5.
No,
Oh, of
number
course.
2.
Wow.
Fun fact, here we go. Grand Theft Auto 5 has now been on the market 49 months and has achieved 41 top 10 chart appearances.
Oh, my gosh.
16 more times than any other single title in reported history.
Wow.
In addition, GTA 5 is the all-time best-selling game by both revenue and units in tracked sales across PC, console, and portable with digital and packaged combined.
Wow.
That thing is a monster. 49 months. 4 years in the top 10, basically.
That is insane. Just back up
That
the
is
Brinks
ridiculous.
truck.
Exactly. So I had to throw that in there. And as we've already spoiled for you, number one was Madden NFL 18, which, like we said, debuted on August 25th and still topped the charts.
So this is the 5th year for the podcast, and for 4 of them, you guys have been saying GTA 5.
GTA 5 for 4 of them.
Lord
Yes,
have mercy.
exactly right.
Man.
Yep, exactly
We're going to
right.
start skipping them. We're
insane.
going to be like, number 3, this game. Number 1.
Yeah, let's just call it this game.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the first year we said Minecraft. So it's just
Yeah, yes, very
really
true.
Minecraft.
Yes.
Right.
Begrudgingly, of
Grand
course.
Theft Auto 5 equals Minecraft.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
strange thought.
So MPD reports that racing gains have seen a resurgence since August of 2016, growing more than 80% thanks primarily to Nintendo's Mario Kart 8 and Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah.
Conversely, which I found this interesting, the shooter genre has experienced a 30% sales decline in 2017 year to date. But this is coming off a record high in spending for the genre over the same period a year ago.
Because Overwatch was last year, right?
Right. And my guess
Yeah.
is there was a ton of shooter games last year, especially in the fourth quarter. I think we will see that go back up. And
Exactly.
we'll definitely see that rise. It's always the fourth quarter because that's when you have your heavy hitters coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So we will probably see this flip-flop, and racing games will decline in the fourth quarter and shooter games will go back up.
Yeah.
Flip-flops will
Probably so.
definitely decline
Love it.
as we go into the winter.
Flip-flops will decline as the months increase. Yes, you're correct.
As
Love
the
me some
snowfall
MPD.
increases.
As the
Exactly.
snowfall increases. So love me some MPD. The only thing left, we did have an oops on Discord, Mike BC 1985. The Raiders will begin in Vegas in 2020 season, not next year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of my bad because I've been watching Ballers and like they're discussing that in this season with the whole Raiders thing. And so I think I just was like, yeah, next year it'll be fine. So Raider Nation, you have until 2020.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't it? That is it for me. Back to
Chris
you.
McCracken, what's crack-a-lackin'?
So I'm going to start with what I feel like is one of the biggest stories come out since all the way in last Tuesday when we recorded.
Yeah.
And that would be that Bruce Straley has decided to leave Naughty Dog. Bruce
Yeah.
Straley is the...
No.
Yeah, he was there for 18 years, and he was the co-director of both The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, but he also worked on Uncharted 3, and I think Uncharted 4 or Uncharted 2 as well. And he had a statement on Naughty Dog's website, and then, or I guess it'd be really more of like a blog post, not so much a statement, because it was more from the heart. Statement makes it sound like it's just some official spin doctor kind of thing. But he was really from the heart, saying how much he just really loved working there. And then the one little spot of it that I will mention is that he said, after heading up 3 extremely demanding projects and taking some extended time away from the office, I found my energy focusing in on other directions, and I slowly realized that this was the signal that it was time to move on. So yeah, I guess it was just those last 3 projects. And he had been there 18 years, and he was a big part, along with Neil Druckmann, just how they could elevate their storytelling like to the next level. That, and with Amy Hennig as well, you know, before she left, they all kind of worked really closely together. And it shows that they all just, they like, you know how they say that the waters rise all boats, you know, that you could tell they were definitely feeding off each other's creativity, and they were just making each other better. And so it's one of those things where like, obviously he has worked hard enough that he deserves whatever he wants to go do next. And, you know, we wish him well, but it's a bit sad because, you know, he did so many great things. And if he wanted to stay, you know, he was just going to do more great things. I mean, it wasn't going to go badly. So,
Well, I'm excited for what great things he's got coming in the future anyway.
It's true.
yeah, I'm curious what that's going to be. Like, would he create his own studio? Will he go to head up some other studio? It's like, it's always one of those things when they say, oh, I'm moving on, but there's something in the works. It's like, oh, well, you got to put me on pins and needles.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you're doing.
So,
He's working with the 10 box 110.
He might be.
right.
You never know. Oh my gosh, that would be a crazy good get for
Wouldn't that be
Microsoft if they were able to.
That would,
Of course, you would need to
Or-
have like a studio or something, or if they like, Bruce Straley's coming to head up 343. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that
Or
would
Black
be pretty
Tusk,
ridiculous.
maybe. Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
That would be awesome.
But, anyways, thank you, sir, for all of the great work that you did
Yes.
on those amazing
Godspeed.
games.
Right?
We salute
And
you,
go
sir.
enjoy your time off.
And
Yes.
we
Good
look,
run.
and we look forward to what you have in store.
Too bad you
Yes,
had to
we
go
are.
out on such terrible games.
I know, right?
Aw.
Whew. It was rough for Naughty
We are
Dog.
obviously just kidding. We're ginormous fans.
Yep.
So the U.S. Navy is going to be using Xbox controllers to control their periscopes on their submarines.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What?
No, so
You better get some batteries for that.
I thought they, like all the movies I've seen, they've got this little pull down thing and
Hey,
they're holding their hands
know,
on it.
right?
Like, I thought that's how it worked.
that is how it worked for a long time. But now, instead of using like mirrors and lenses, they use cameras that display on big screens, and they're going to be using Xbox controllers. And they kind of figured out how to do this. So the whole problem was the control panel that they were going to get from Lockheed Martin was going to be $38,000.
Wow.
And it was heavy, and it took hours to train the sailors on. And then the contractors tested it with an Xbox controller as a replacement, and the sailors were obviously able to figure it out in like a couple minutes, and it only cost them $30.
No way. That's amazing.
So
Wow, that's so cool.
Can we do that with our government too? Just hand everybody in Congress like a controller and be like,
Yeah.
here, play with
freaking
this.
chill out for a second and get some gaming on.
Right.
Live your life through this
All of a
controller.
sudden we'd have free healthcare. It'd be great.
We'd be Canada. Everybody be really nice to each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting that they're going to be using Xbox controllers because that seems like such a serious thing in the Navy.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
periscopes and things like that. So
How much trouble you think the
Right.
first guy's going to be when he gets it, turns up the sensitivity, and he just starts yelling 360 no scope and spinning it around over and over and over.
I'm wondering how much.
Although you're
I
gonna-
wonder how much
Court
trouble.
martial.
How much trouble they're gonna be like. Hey, who inverted these controls?
I was exactly yeah, who inverted.
Why does it keep going
Yeah,
down?
I'm trying to go up. Got me on my invert. I need y'all to switch my y-axis back around.
The next great Call of Duty game, periscopes.
My whole house is like, what is he talking about? And yelling about up there right now.
Yep.
It is late. We are sleeping. Chris, what else you got?
So, also something that happened last week is Apple had their event where they announced a bunch of stuff like new phones, new watches, and then they
Really
also
expensive
announced
stuff.
a new Apple TV. But the reason that I even bring it up is because they brought out on stage Genova Chen, and Genova Chen is the head of That Game Company. And for those who aren't aware, That Game Company are the people who made Flow and Flower and Journey. And this is their kind of follow-up game after Journey. And this game is going to be, it's called Sky. There's a trailer for it. You can go look it up. It's on YouTube. Just type in Sky game and you'll be able to find it pretty easily. But this game is going to be exclusive to Apple TV, iPhone, and iPad, which is kind of crazy because if you think about it, the last game that Game Company put out with Genova Chen heading it was Journey, and it got multiple like Game of the Year awards and all that stuff. So like this is his big follow-up, and it's being locked behind an exclusive to Apple TV, iPhone, and iPad. That just kind of blows my mind.
Did they
'cause I
make it
did
sound
not
at
see
all
that
like
coming.
timed exclusive or for real
They
exclusive?
didn't make it sound that way at all. They made it the way the words they used made it sound very much like this is coming here and that's it.
Wow.
Wow.
And it kind of makes sense because you got to think Apple's been there for the longest time. They've always had iOS and tried to push it as like a gaming platform. And they've then with the newer versions of Apple TV come out and this brand new one that has 4K and everything. They've really been trying to push that as well. And there's multiple like third-party Bluetooth controllers and things like that. So it doesn't surprise me if it indeed stays Apple exclusive forever. I mean, Apple's got the money to grab, a big name in the gaming world and
course.
say, make a game for just us. And I mean, this is a big name that this is their next game following a big hitter that they just had out, a couple years ago. So it's definitely something that I'm going to look into, and I might be buying it for my phone or maybe my iPad if mine can run it. My iPad's pretty old.
Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to
same.
see. But I mean, I was just blown away. It came out of the left field to me. I was not expecting to see him come out and then say his game is going to be exclusive You know, because like when you think about when Mario, whatever it was, Mario Run, it was just like, oh, it comes out first on that. They didn't use any language like that. They said only coming to Apple products.
I like that.
So we'll just have to wait and see when it comes out, see how good it is, see what kind of reviews it gets.
Yeah.
I don't want necessarily the Apple TV to turn into another console,
No,
but
no.
I can see how they could easily lean in that direction and it feel natural.
Yeah.
So Fortnite, it's kind of the big old
Fortnite.
I don't know what song that is.
I don't either. I made it up.
You know, Fortnite by Chris McCracken.
Yeah, Chris McCracken, copyright 2017.
1917.
So they have a game, Fortnite,
Right.
on Xbox and PlayStation.
It's in early access right now.
Yes, it's developed by
I think it's also on PC as well.
I think it's on PC,
or is it- yeah.
developed by Epic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had what they want to call a glitch or a configuration issue.
Okay.
But for some sweet, sweet hours, Xbox and PS4 players were able to play together in the same room at the
Wow.
same time and had cross-platform play between Fortnite on PS4
What the heck?
and Xbox One. So a spokesperson said, we had a configuration issue and has now been corrected. Listen, I'm not saying they did it on purpose or anything like that. But so what happened was people were playing, they're running around, and one PSN user saw somebody's name and they were like, huh, that name has a space in it. And in PSN, you can't have spaces in your names. You have to have an underscore.
Oh.
And then there was a father and son who posted more evidence of them playing together on the two different consoles in the same room. So
Wow.
we obviously have been talking about over the last few years, probably Microsoft kind of pushing Sony ever since the Xbox One came out and it didn't do as good as everybody thought it would. And it was like, I mean, come on, baby. Let's just play together.
Well, this is not the Bloods
And
and the
Sonny
Crips.
was
Let's
like,
get together now.
Huh, you ain't do me right last console generation. And now you come crawling back. The answer is no. So Microsoft and Nintendo have already been talking, about getting Rocket League and Minecraft working and stuff like that. Sony has refused so far. But during Gamescom, Aaron Greenberg, he's marketing, so take it with a grain of salt, but he's marketing manager, told Game Reactor that the two companies are talking it over.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they're talking,
Right.
That means
I know,
nothing.
but you got to remember, from a person that came from a broken home, anytime mommy and daddy was talking, there was a chance they was
Yes.
getting back together.
There you go. There you go.
At least in our head as a child. And so that's the way I'm viewing this when I see Microsoft and
That's funny.
Sony talking about cross-platform play. I mean, I think it's got to happen sometime. I don't know if it's going to be sooner
It
or later,
will.
but do you guys think it's got to happen eventually, right?
Yes, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Very eventually, I think.
You know why? Because I think the gamers are going to demand
so?
it at some point.
And I think
Yeah, but I mean,
Microsoft's going to take themselves out of the hardware game anyway with all this cross-buy with Windows 10 business. That,
Well, if they do, it won't be anytime soon, but
oh yeah.
maybe.
But I'm just saying, like, they kind of have their games kind of all over the place. PC can already play with PS4 on Rocket League. So we know
And a
that
few other
there's
things, yeah.
and a few other things, right? So we know that there's cross-platform play there. It's not that much different to have cross-platform play on the Xbox. It's both Microsoft.
right.
I don't know. Come on, y'all. Can't we just get along?
Right. I know.
Gotta be throwing all that shade, Sony. We understand you won. You won this generation.
Right.
Be the bigger man. Golly. Or
Telling
woman.
you.
Whatever.
Oh,
What else you got, Chris?
So, do you guys remember Battleborn?
The
Slightly.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, seems like nobody else did either. So, that game is shutting down
Already?
already.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was basically released, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before Overwatch was. And even though they're not the same thing, they're close enough that they did get kind of compared to each other. and then it just never quite did as well as Overwatch did. And they came out and they said that this next update that Battleborn is going to be getting is going to be its last.
Wow.
And that the servers will be up and active for the foreseeable future, but they're not going to be providing any more updates past the fall update. And if any details change, they'll let you know, but they're like, we're not doing anything else with this game. Like it is what it is now, and we'll just leave the servers on for a while. And then eventually when the player count completely dies, they'll just shut it all off.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
too bad.
It's sad because there was definitely a subset of people out there that played it and they're like, look, this game is not really comparative to Overwatch. It's different enough and it's really good, which I never played it, but the people who really loved it, I heard that over and over and over. They're like, it's really not fair to compare these two games. And I would say I kind of agree with that because while they both do have, you could call them heroes, if you will, Battleborn was really more of like a first-person MMO, or not MMO, but a MOBA, because it had lanes and it played more like just a first-person version of like League of Legends or Dota 2, from what I was able to watch and gather when I was watching it. Whereas Overwatch is more just a hero shooter, you know, there's an objective, but there's not like lanes and all these things, and I kind of feel bad for them, but at the same time, it's like, man, they had to know what they were getting into, and when Overwatch was going to be coming out around the same time, and it's just, I mean, I know when you're so far in development, you can't really like make a left turn and like switch gears really all that easily, but man, it's just, they just were a rock and a hard place and never were able to just tread enough water to stay afloat, you know?
That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Rest in peace, Battleborn.
Yeah, that was quick.
Battleborn, battle died.
Oh,
look at
2017.
Oh man. You could play moving right along. You could play Battlefield 1 for free this weekend on Xbox One from September 22nd through the 24th. So if you haven't played Battlefield 1, it's really good, and you could definitely beat the story over the weekend. And also, if you want to purchase it from the 19th, so a couple days ago, through the 25th, you can save 40% on the Revolution Pack, which includes the base game and the premium pass, which, you know, for the DLC and whatnot.
Right.
I really liked Battlefield 1. I thought it was great. Did any of you guys play it?
Yeah, I had Battlefield 1.
I don't think so.
I haven't finished the campaigns yet.
Yeah, did you like it, Chris?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it.
So you would encourage someone to play it for free?
Oh, yeah. Especially now they have all the different, I'm assuming that it will have all the map packs that have been released up into this point. So you have even more content to play than when I was playing it, and I enjoyed it with less content. So
yep, exactly right.
Give it a go.
Nice.
There you have it. Chris, you got anything else?
Yeah, the last thing that I have is somebody ended up able to buy from a flea market a copy of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, but it's a pre-production version of it.
Ooh.
And it has a level in it where Michael Jackson is in his Smooth Criminal getup, but they're playing the song Thriller, and he's going around kicking a bunch of zombies.
What?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so the original game, it was rumored for a long time that Thriller was going to be part of the game, and that the rumor was that because of all the licensing issues and everything, they couldn't actually do it. But it was always said that yes, they actually made a level with Thriller music and Thriller themed level, and it just never went out there. And he was able to find this pre-production version of the game. And a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, we don't know for sure if this is legit." And so he showed video of his gameplay. And you can see it on YouTube. He showed the cartridge, and on the cartridge it says pre-production sample, and says the date that's marked on it is 4/24/1990. So he's showing as much as he can. He's like, "Look, it looks pretty legit. Like I haven't seen anything that said this is debunked, but it looks pretty cool to see Michael Jackson running around and hearing all this Thriller chiptune music while he's kicking zombies and trying to find kids that are hiding from the zombies."
I played the crap out of that game.
Really?
I played it, but I didn't play the crap. I didn't own it. I played it on a friend's console. But yeah, I did play it.
I loved that game.
It's really cool. Go and look it up on YouTube.
Yep. do that. I love it. I didn't know this. The original Xbox controller got the name the Duke.
Yep.
I had no idea that it was called the Duke.
I knew it was called
Interesting.
that, but I don't know why. I never heard officially why it was called that.
Yeah. But Hyperkin and somebody named Samus Blackley, I don't know if it said one of the designers of the original Xbox have recreated it, and him and Hyperkin are bringing it back out to work with the Xbox One and Windows 10 machines.
Wow.
And Microsoft has given their stamp of approval. And so
Ooh, wow.
that's coming back out. So if you feel like getting your hand on a big old fat controller.
All right. Hang on a second. Tell me if you can hear this. That's my face palming right now, because this is the worst controller in the history of controllers, and why anybody is bringing it back.
So it's not going to be wireless, right? It's just going to be a wired one.
I have no idea.
I don't
But
know.
why anybody wants this thing is beyond me. This is the most ridiculous controller
Well,
ever. My friend
for
had
nostalgia purposes.
Yeah.
But to actually use it, and I mean, if you want to like get an old one like at a flea market or a garage sale and put it on your shelf, like, oh, remember the Duke. But to play with it right now, nah, no, thank you.
You don't think?
It can't even work a periscope.
Exactly. The Navy knows what's up.
Exactly.
Nah, man, we don't want no Duke. Give us that Elite controller.
That is funny. Well, for those that have nostalgia out the wazoo, you'll be able to get it again soon. And then this last week, the Tomb Raider trailer dropped
Yeah.
Yes,
for
it
the new
did.
movie.
Did it?
With
Oh, I
the
didn't see that.
homegirl playing Lara Croft.
Right.
And I don't know yet. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like
I think you should play the
it
video
looks
game.
like action. And
Right.
it's definitely the rebooted games instead of the original. Because I
Yeah.
don't remember the
Yeah.
original games having a bow and arrow. I could be wrong, but
No,
As-
I didn't
not
play
like
them. I don't know.
No, she just had
I
dual wield pistols for most of
loved
it, from what I
Right.
remember.
Love that bow and
so
arrow.
in the
on
trailer, you
reboot.
see her
Oh.
wielding the bow and arrow, and then at the very end, you see her buy the dually pistols. So
Okay,
it's
right.
definitely like a throwback for, for people that have played a lot of the games. There's definitely a bunch of little stuff where you're like, There's even like a, she's in a storm in a boat, and, which is, I think is how the first reboot started off. And
Yeah.
She has that climbing axe too.
she's got that climbing axe. Yeah. So,
So just play the video game, basically.
but this could,
That's
I'm
my.
not saying it's going to break the curse, but it
No.
could be a good movie. It doesn't look great to me. It looks like, action and things that are supposed to happen. She's not like overly sexualized, which I was really glad that they didn't find
Yeah,
some
they did it right.
crazy looking lady to play Lara Croft. She looks like a regular girl, you know what I'm saying, doing her thing.
And she
Yeah.
looks like she gets the crap kicked out of her like she does in the video
man,
game.
she looks
so,
like
Is she gonna get
so
a
here we
stick
go.
through the neck?
She
yeah.
looks like she's giving a hard time, man. She's
Right.
falling
Right.
into the rapids. She's caught and tied up and trying to escape and
Yep.
all this stuff. You're like, oh, that sounds about right.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I like it. I think, I don't know if it's going to be like the night it comes out or anything like that, but
Yeah.
maybe a red box or
Yeah, I
something.
will not be day one on this
No
one.
saw.
Is that one that Jenny would go see?
Oh no, maybe if I told her it wasn't a video game movie.
Like it's
Start
just a
with
reboot
that.
of the Angelina Jolie series.
What's that?
Just a reboot of the Angelina Jolie series.
Yeah, I'd be like,
for
hey, you
video
remember
games.
that movie that Angelina Jolie did? It's like they did that again, except with somebody who don't look nothing like Angelina Jolie.
Lauren liked those a lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
liking them too, but I think I was that age.
That's true.
Jeez.
Like I don't know if I would have cared what was going on.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
There you
I was
go.
like, the dialogue is terrible. I'm like, they talked in that movie?
I don't remember no words.
I had the sound turned off.
Exactly.
After hours.
I had them muted at the theater.
that's
So that's all I got. Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what you got, brethren?
What you got going on your YouTube channel?
Yeah,
I know,
YouTube
right?
channel you started.
Jeez.
Just a couple quick things. Also, this weekend there's a free Overwatch weekend,
Oh, really?
which I'm super excited about because I can get to play with our Xbox community that I can't play with throughout the rest of the year. So
That's right. And you don't have to level up or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, today, when you hear this on Friday, next Friday, Cuphead comes out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
And so starting today, if you go to our Facebook page, we are giving away a digital copy of Cuphead.
That's right.
Yeah, digital.
And all you have to do is find that post that we put up there. It's a big green square. You can't miss it. Share it, like our page, and that gets you entered. And someone will win a digital copy. We'll give it out next Thursday, the night before, so you can pre-download it or whatever you need to do, and you'll be good to go. So that's on the Married to the Games Facebook page.
Nice.
Well played.
Look at you, Ed.
Definitely check that out. Look at that. Look at all of us.
So, yeah, we're giving away some Cuphead and a bottle of aspirin.
That's
Exactly.
right. We're giving you Cuphead and an apology.
I like it.
We're going to let you rage quit it so I don't have to.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to be playing Cuphead. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's such a cool looking game. I'm definitely going to be watching someone
I'll
play
probably
it.
be playing it
me
on
too.
Absolutely.
Windows 10.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Gosh, the art style is just so amazing looking.
This is the only thing. Like, I really love my discount at Best Buy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Only hard part. And I just don't feel like, I think my Xbox still runs.
I know. I think mine does too,
you
actually.
should update it now. So in a week
Yeah, I
it'll be
know.
done.
Oh, yeah, I guess I
Exactly.
can turn it on. Remy comes in here and turns it on all the time. He loves to start it. Just because it goes big a week, like when he presses it.
Just checking for
So
some
funny.
updates.
Yeah. Tim, you were saying that art style, though, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. Just awesome. Like nothing I've ever seen before. And that's the only reason why I'd definitely pick this up. I think
Except
I
for
am
when you
gonna
were a
pick it up.
kid
Yeah.
Right.
in the
Right,
20s.
Exactly. Of course.
Mhm.
During the Depression, all that fun stuff.
All the cartoons
Yeah.
you would watch.
All right, keep it up, whippersnapper. I got you.
Back
I
when
got
everything was
you.
hand drawn. Come on, you remember.
Sit down, be humble. But yeah, I think what I might do for Cuphead is I might wait until the holidays because it probably will go on sale.
I think it's only like 20 or $30, right?
Yeah, it's only
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
I mean,
so when it still goes on sale.
He said, I think I'm going to wait till the Game Genie comes out and I can be playing on God mode.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'll be waiting a year and a half when it's available on Games with Gold.
exactly. No, that's cool. I mean, for $20, yeah, let's definitely pick that up and make that happen. I won't be playing it for a while though, because I've got a million other non-frustrating games I want to play, and then and we'll just go from there. Because I really don't feel like rage quitting on behalf of Ed either,
Exactly. Jeez.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
or getting carpal tunnel for that matter.
There you go.
I can't wait to play that
Well,
game.
That's going to be
Ugh.
fun, I think, to watch.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, to watch.
Over on the Married to the Games YouTube channel, we've got Lego Dimensions, the Lego Batman movie, parts 1 through 7. If you
Awesome.
want to just watch part 7, you literally get to watch Sarah fall asleep while playing a video game.
No way.
Awesome.
Newt Scalamander from Fantastic Beasts all of a sudden just stops walking.
Sweet.
So my half of the screen is going to town and one half is just standing there. So it's pretty cool.
Jeez.
By the end of the video, it's no longer split screen. She actually had to drop out because she was falling asleep too badly.
That's so
That is
great.
awesome.
So funny. We've got Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, parts 1 through 34. The entire game, is if you want to see that, is up there. If you want to watch me stumble my way through it, there was one comment I loved that just said, "Yo, you're bad at this game."
I saw that.
Thanks
too.
for the encouragement.
I saw that too. I was like,
I just replied,
we have a fan.
What have I been telling you the whole time?
Yeah, somebody hasn't been paying attention.
Right. Do you think I don't
Yeah,
know?
yo, you're bad at comments.
yo, you bad at listening.
Exactly. Lego Dimensions Sonic the Hedgehog parts 1 through 5 is up there, as well as Lego Dimensions Midway Arcade World. If you want to watch me fail at old games, I'm good at that too.
That's hilarious.
Let's see, the top 10 YouTube videos combining the average watch time and views for the week of September 14th through the 20th. Number 10, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6, bottom dollar complete. Way down there. Number 9, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider Part 1.
Ooh,
Number
well played.
8, Hugh Part 10, University.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Lord have mercy.
Wow.
What is happening, you guys?
Gracious.
I have been slacking
Tim, get
again.
on the
I'm
computer.
so sorry.
Just go to and just hit F5. Just refresh.
Yep.
Put that thing on loop.
Got it.
Number 6, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14.
Swamp.
Number 5, Married to the Games Episode 261. Spoiler alert. Number 4, Dishonored Death of the Outsider Part 7. The Red Camellia.
Ooh.
Number 3, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19. Paint Job. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48. Ghost Signals. And number 1, it's our old friend Hugh, Part 11, The Ending, You Bunch of Cheaters.
I like it.
There you
I like
go.
it. Oh my gosh. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different.
Mm-hmm.
We said it's fall, y'all. What are you guys excited is coming back to TV? And we have some answers to that question.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear all of them.
Starting over on the Discord, Mark Boucher, The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Walking Dead.
Never mind.
Right. He said, Gabe, he said,
And checked
Gabe,
out.
you're missing out. He said, Gabe, you're missing out. You're just missing out. It's more than just a CW soap opera stuff, but suit yourself, which, I will.
Exactly. I love that you're getting all the slack.
Exactly.
And none of us are watching
And it's
it.
actually a 3-piece suit. So that I'll be suiting myself in.
So it's more than just a suit and tie.
It is. It's a suit and vest and tie. Speaking of, he's going to be here on Saturday playing down the street from
Yes.
my house.
Yes, he will.
Oh, that old Justin Timberlake.
No,
Ugh.
JT basically put Pilgrimage on the
Yeah.
map.
Okay, wait till I get you on the floor. Good looking. Anyway, normally
There you go.
not my Fluxel, not normally my jam, but a bit excited to watch Dancing with the Stars this season.
What?
Lindsay Sterling is one of the competitors this time around, and I find her to be one of the most positive, talented, driven, and down-to-earth people in the music industry. I mean, next to video games, of course.
I don't know if I know who she is.
I've heard that name.
Is she a country singer?
I don't know. I've just heard the name.
Huh.
And then, Ed, were you the one who listened to all the suggestions, speaking of music? Was that from last week? Which felt like 3 years ago.
Right.
It really did.
Did you have what are your final thoughts of that was the other MTTG oops we had, by the way.
Right.
The question was, what underrated albums do you guys suggest?
Yeah.
Which Tim said Sade, a little known artist named
Right.
Sade. Somebody on Twitter was like, Sade's underrated. I was like,
They're like, that album went 4 times platinum.
so did you listen? Did you
Did
listen to
number
Sade?
7. I did. Yeah.
And it felt very Sade, right?
It was very Sade. And it's funny because a couple of years ago, Sarah's dad took us down to a very, very fancy restaurant in Seaside, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time they were playing Sade videos. And so when I hear Sade, I think of that. And it's funny that that's where Tim vacations. And he's the one and it's just funny how it all tied together.
You're welcome.
And then
Thank you.
you had a lot of fun with Chris's.
Loved Chris's. That was I had a great time with that. One of the songs I played for Sarah, and Sarah loved the song. It was just you just didn't know what to expect with each track. It was a lot of fun.
There you go. And then
I told you it's a little of everything.
And then you said Frou Frou reminded you of somebody you loved already. Of Dido.
Yeah. And I did not know what to expect from your suggestion, Gabe, but I definitely didn't suspect that. And I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. It was nice.
Good.
And I messaged you and said, it actually reminds me of Dido. And you said it was a very emotional time in my life.
2002 was something else, Bishop. 2002 was something else. Over on the Facebook page, back to the question at hand about the television shows. D High, Texas represent. He said, The Flash, the show has been great thus far. Also, Arrow, give it a shot, Gabe. Oh, do you say shot
Gabe.
because of Arrow?
I get it.
Arrow is a really good show.
That
were
joke made
getting-
me quiver.
Oh, look at you. Oh my gosh.
Poor Gabe, man. You're like the whipping boy for
I
Arrow right now.
know. It's okay. It's okay. I can take
Yeah,
it.
Gabe, get
I
on
can
that.
take it. Yeah, I'll get on it.
The beauty of it is he's still not going to watch it. Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, I'll do it right after I'm dead. American Horror Story just started back up, and that show is pure gold. That's another pun on another show.
Huh.
And I recommend it to anyone that enjoys the horror genre.
Yeah, they do a good job over there.
Genre.
I heard those. I mean, it looks freaky, and I've kind of like been on the fence, like, ooh, I should watch that, and then I pass a mirror, and I'm like, you're still you. You're not gonna watch that. Stop lying to yourself.
That's funny.
Tim Paul and The Walking Dead. Honestly, it's the only show I'm currently on. Everything else is video on demand or Netflix.
So did that show get good again? Because by the time you got to season
I don't
4, it
know.
was like,
I stopped watching it after season 5.
I started watching this 7, and just the first 2 episodes in, I'm like, this is getting stupid, and I haven't watched
dang
it
it.
since.
I stopped last season as well, and what's funny is that I've seen no one tweeting about it like I usually saw people tweet about the show.
Everybody usually freaks out about the finale, and this person's, they kill this person or whatever, and I've heard nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing.
Maybe they found a cure. Just kidding.
it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, everybody was talking
Jeez
Game of
Louise.
Thrones.
Sean Chalner. The Walking Dead. Although the term
Look at that.
excited is probably wrong. I haven't felt excited for a show since Lost ended. Ooh.
Oh, there you
Did
go.
we just become best friends? Yep.
Right?
Gosh, what a show.
Ah,
Did I ever tell you guys? Sorry, you know how we like to rabbit trail. It is a night show. So fair warning.
Right.
I had a buddy that randomly stumbled onto the set of Lost while he was in Hawaii.
was that Brad?
It was Brandon Heath.
Oh,
How in the world do you randomly stumble across?
He thought he had rolled up on like there was a competition for surfing there that weekend, and he was in between radio interviews, and they were like, "Man, just go drive around the island, man. It's a beautiful place." He was like, "All right." So they're just literally driving around, and he said he got to a dead end, and he looked at his buddy. He was like, "Right or left?" He was like, "Oh, let's take a right." And so they took a right, and then he started seeing like all these television trailers, and he was like, "Oh, I guess, man, this seems a little inland to be set up for that surfing thing, but I guess there's ESPN here." And so he said, as he drove by the trailers, it was like Jack, Kate, Sawyer. He was like, "Oh snap!
No.
Oh snap!
Wow.
I'm on Lost." And so he got there and like pulled into a parking lot and just kind of got out. And there was like 7 or 8 other people, he said, there just kind of like watching from across the way. And they were doing the scenes from when they first went back to the 70s. And
that right?
and then somebody came over and was like, "Are you Brandon Heath?" And he was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh my gosh, one of our people is a big fan of yours. Do you want to come watch like from the director's chair?"
What?
So he got to go watch from
That's
right
insane.
behind.
No
Yes.
way,
Got to-
dude.
so he's over there signing autographs for other people while he's on the show that he loves, like watching them.
That's
and he had to go
awesome.
like
My
sign
gosh.
an NDA because he was close enough to hear hear what they were talking about and stuff like that. Anyway,
Right.
that's a
That's
so
crazy.
cool.
big side note.
That's really cool. That's a great side note,
Yes.
though. Interesting.
Yeah.
Back to our question over on Twitter about TV shows people are watching this fall. We got Spencer Stapleton at Krypton TKMC. Does anybody know what that stands for?
This stands for Street Team.
He's
You're
just
welcome.
really bad at acronyms, is
That-
all. Poor Spencer.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's what that stands for.
Him.
That stands for Street Team. Okay.
You're welcome. Got him. Oh, love it.
Didn't see that one coming.
Got it.
I'm weeping right
Oh,
now.
that is really funny. That stands for Street Team. TKMC. That stands for street team.
It will from here on forward.
It forever will now, yeah. He might as well change his handle.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. That is funny. Oh, shoot. Is it the timing and everything?
You're welcome. Did we mention this was a night show?
Oh my gosh, I'm emotionally unstable right now.
That reminds me, and you could cut this out if you want to. Two of my buddies were in a sketch group, and the one sketch was the one guy standing on the corner going, "Hey, taxi! Hey, taxi! Hey, taxi!" for like a minute, and finally the other guy comes out and says, "Yeah," and the first guy says, "Oh, no, I was saying, hey, taxi," and the second guy says, "Oh, I thought you were saying, hey, Robert."
Nice.
Oh, okay, Chris, I got to tell your joke too from this last weekend. Chris told a joke that he thought was very funny.
Is it a dad joke?
Yeah.
Yes, it is very much a
I
dad
love that
joke.
you say he thought was
Yeah,
very
he
funny.
thought was hilarious. So he was asking us about. I'm sorry for those that are listening for the first time to this podcast.
Yeah,
This is a version of how this goes. Like, it's not usually this bad, but it can be. It's a night show.
The joke or the show?
The fact that we just cannot get through the answers.
I know. This will be the 5th time we're going back to our fall.
So, we're driving in the car, and he asked if we'd ever done anything like acoustic. Like, do we ever do a show acoustically without the whole band? And I was telling him we did a tour like that once, a whole tour where just Tim came on guitar, Dave came on keys, and then I beatboxed most of the show or played the cajon. And to where Chris replies and says, "Oh man, does that mean if you had 2 of them, then you would be playing the cajones?"
Yeah, there it is. Well played.
Cracked him up.
Still gets him. Still gets him.
Listen,
Oh, just amazing. He's still
enjoy
dying.
his laughter because he laughed. So listen to him.
Yeah, I know. This is incredible. That was good, Chris.
That's so
really
bad, but
good.
it's so good.
Yeah. I was like worried for my safety because we were like doing an on-ramp onto the freeway. And he had like both eyes closed with his hands over his face.
He's crying. Oh, he's
And
crying.
I
Yep.
said it was like 3 minutes later, I started laughing about it again.
Yeah, he was like, "Cajones."
Oh, that's great.
Funny.
Shoot.
That's
It's the
really
little
good,
things,
Chris.
you
Well
know?
played.
the little
Yeah,
things.
sure.
Spencer Stapleton on Twitter.
Stands for
Just,
straight.
just to let you guys know what we're talking about, we're answering the question that we asked last week of what people were excited about watching on television this
For like
fall.
the 5th time. For like the 5th time.
In case you stepped away for the last 20 minutes.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
said,
Still on it.
Survivor, always Survivor.
Oh,
nice.
okay.
So
Okay.
I'm just guessing he has that Destiny's Child video on loop
Sure.
because I can't imagine he means the television show.
Pretty sure he means the television
Oh,
show.
Every year
man.
I wonder, I'm like, is that show still on? And every year is like, yep, it still
Every year it
is.
is.
No,
Yep.
like that. I don't know how that
Absolutely.
thing has made it.
It
Even
had
though,
to have been everywhere by now. Survived everything.
right? Like there's nothing else to survive. Not if 300 people can do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
that's a lot. Bit,
And they always go to islands that people live on. It's like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going to an inhabited
yeah,
country.
they're like, here we are on Martha's Vineyard, and we're gonna see if these guys can run on a log in the water. You're like, oh man.
right.
There's people taking pictures with their cell phones in the background.
I want to see like Survivor Compton.
Exactly. Let's
Seriously.
really get into this thing.
Let's do this.
Let's make it
Yeah,
dangerous.
absolutely. Yep.
Let's just start dropping off
Let's do that.
politicians in North Korea and just see what happens.
Hey.
Sherry Crow
Hey.
Hey.
at Christ's Disciple, Mama Bread fan for those that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She has a very mom answer.
Oh man, if it's about a cajon,
It better not be.
She says, "This is us and The Voice."
There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Craig T at Jedi Gamer CT. My wife and I are excited for season 2 of This Is Us. And oh yeah, I'm excited for the final season of Star Wars Rebels.
Ooh, all right.
Mm.
Okay.
Joseph E. Richardson.
All of us are like, that's a TV show?
Is that the cartoon, right?
Yes, the
I
cartoon.
assume so, yeah.
The Disney cartoon. Joseph E. Richardson at Metaphysics. Wow, another one. Definitely This Is Us.
Uh-huh.
Man, a lot. Do any of you guys watch that show?
No, but everybody keeps saying that we need to.
I saw the first episode and it was really, really good, and we just never got around to finishing
Man,
it.
we
I
watched
really
that
want to
whole
watch
season.
season 1. Yeah, because Stacy watched the whole thing, and I really would like to watch season 2 with her.
It is good, you guys. It is really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Matthew Shepard at ShepDog921. Michigan stand up. Am I really the only person excited for the return of Star Trek?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes, you are.
Without viewers, sci-fi shows drop quickly. Season 1 and done. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. My dad's maybe excited.
I didn't know it was coming back, so
What's it called? Discovery? Star Trek Discovery?
I don't even know.
Jeez Louise. I'm excited that it's coming back. I won't watch it, but I'm excited that Star Trek is back on TV.
Well, then that
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Sure it does.
If you don't watch it.
Yeah, but I'm excited it's there. I'm excited
Okay,
to
yeah.
have it.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
just like I don't
You're
love
excited for
Drew
the-
Carey
it
hosting
being present.
Price is Right, but I'm glad it's still on TV.
Yeah.
Even though I
that's
love
true.
Drew Carey, but I think he's a terrible host.
Hmm.
Philip Hamilton B at True Tech Dad. My family and I are really excited for The Flash. It's the best CW show. Man, there's a lot of this Flash business going on.
Right.
Jared Orr at JOR1313. Currently, I'm totally in love with season 3 of Rick and Morty. Looking forward to
Oh.
South Park and Doctor Who.
Nice.
There we go. Thank you. There we go. Oh, and I'll say this one
Right.
for Chris. Extra Life Mike at Mike BC 1985. Football, go Cowboys.
there you go.
Hey.
Ah.
They need to go.
Yeah, they do.
They need a
It's a
little
bounce back game.
They need a little hi-ya in that old giddy up. All right. You know where to find us. I'm so glad we made it through that. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. You can always come over to marriedtothegames.com and just look at the website. Like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. And now on Patreon at patreon.com/MTTG.
Yeah.
MTTG stands for Street Team.
Street
Gosh,
Team?
That was funny.
Tip jar?
Yeah. For $12 a month.
There you go.
You for $12
That's
a year,
right.
you too can be chatting with us
That's
on the
right.
Discord channel, which is on and freaking popping.
And
Yeah.
It's
it is.
rival. It's the only rival it has right now is our clan chat. That thing for Destiny
Yeah.
is going.
Is it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Nice.
Oh, good stuff.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. Oh gosh. See, you guys usually aren't ready, and I'm not even ready to ask who's ready. Chris McCracken.
Rate us on iTunes so we can go for another 5 years.
Hey!
Oh, there you
Boom,
go.
boom,
Nice
boom,
one.
boom.
I like
I
that.
like it.
Ba-da-ba-da, boom, boom, boom.
Let's get into some questions. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now.
It was so confident,
Yes.
it just felt right until
I know.
wait
I was
a minute.
like, wait, that doesn't seem
Yeah.
right.
no, gents, we had a good run.
I
5
know.
years.
Yeah,
We'll take
exactly.
it.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. This will be the last one.
That's right.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Spay and
All right,
neuter
let's
your
start
pet.
with exactly. And watch out for Mario's nipples. All right, here we go. We're going to start with email. You can always email us at mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. Travis friggin' nutcase. Apparently, when I'm hot and heavy, when
Whoa,
I'm hang on. Let me
whoa,
start
whoa.
over.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Hold
No,
on a
next
second.
question.
All right,
Yeah,
everybody
let's
back up. Back
let's
up.
get this one.
I can only talk about one character's nipples each week.
It's a one nipple minimum or maximum, I should say. All right. Anyway, Travis, Friggin' nutcase. Apparently, when I'm hot and heavy into some Destiny 2, I make some really bizarre faces. My wife and daughter started laughing hysterically as I was finishing up a heroic public event. It's a bit embarrassing. Poop life faces, I'm sure. So, have you been caught making ridiculous faces or doing anything odd while gaming? Please,
Nope.
God, let me not be the only one.
Nope. Not
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah.
Lean back. Lean back. Lean back.
Oh my gosh. Ed has been caught by his wife on several occasions making very, very funny. It's almost like you're chewing peanut butter.
Yeah. I didn't
It's
know I
not
moved
just
my
the
mouth at
faces;
all.
it's the moving his
So
whole
great.
body as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
No, he leans.
And he play
Yeah,
play
that's
on the
great.
ground on your knees.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
I was playing the other night with Stancil, and we were almost done playing Overwatch, and I was like, dude, are you sweating? And he was like, no. And I'm like, I am drenched in sweat. And Sarah's like, that's because you're doing an ab workout
Exactly.
while you're playing.
Exactly. Well, and Stancel's
Oh,
got like
that's
95
amazing.
fans in his house. He lives in
No, there
Seattle
you
where
go.
they don't have, regular air conditioning.
Oh,
You
right.
gotta get that air moving.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so. I've never been caught doing anything weird. And I think the weirdest thing
No.
probably is back in the day when I used to play Counter-Strike, I used to take it really, really serious. And so I would put my comforter from my bed over my monitor and my head because of, because
Oh,
of,
I remember you telling us that. Yeah,
because of where the
Oh,
window
wow.
was. I got terrible glare on my screen. And I was in a clan, man. I had to represent. VK, stand up,
That's
VK.
amazing.
The Venebulanites.
Oh my gosh.
I remember going over to the house the one time, and I was like, oh, is Gabe here? And Aaron's like, yeah, he's in his room. And I kind of pop in, and I was like, oh, as you were. As you
Exactly.
were.
Yeah, it definitely looks more scandalous than it is. I'm just playing some Counter-Strike. As you were. Chris, what about you?
I don't think that I do anything now, at least not that I'm aware of. But when I was young playing NES, just like most people, I would do the whole move my hands up with the controller trying to make Mario jump higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know of anything that I do nowadays.
There you go. Tim?
Yeah, I game too early, so they
Nobody catches you doing
my
your
wife
weird
and
stuff.
daughter, nobody gets me laughing, but I usually just sit there with my headphones and enjoy
Let me
my
ask you
game.
this.
Nice.
Has there ever been a time where something happened in a game that caused you to look over your shoulder?
That what?
Caused you to look over your shoulder?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
Like a
heard
scandalous
sometimes.
I was playing GTA 5 and there was a side mission and it was like, got a little
Yes.
crazy. And I remember being like, well, and at the time, I would play in the bonus room. I was like, not playing this game anymore. Took that thing right back to the red
Yeah,
box.
exactly. Yeah, I did that for The Witcher.
Yep.
I was just looking over like, okay, hopefully
Yeah.
no one's showing up here.
Yeah, can we press X and get up out of here?
Yeah, let's go.
Chris?
All right.
No, not that I can think of.
Ed?
Not really, just because when that kind of stuff happens, it's because it's still just a computer animated thing. It's usually like, Sarah, look at this.
You look over your
Nice.
shoulder to
It's
call your
ridiculous.
wife to come closer to the computer.
I know, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome. All right, moving on to Braylon Jones. I wasn't exactly sure where to put this, so I sent it here. I know you guys wanted us to share some good news as a community, and I have some great news. After
nice.
8 months of constantly being told no, I finally landed a job as a software developer. I
Nice.
start in October and will be away for 4 months.
Wow.
So sadly, I won't get to scream at Ed and Bad Gamer Elite on Overwatch until next year. I'm excited to begin my...
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
I know, that's amazing. I'm
congratulations.
excited to begin my career, and I'm glad I had the community to support
That
me.
is
That's
That's
awesome,
awesome,
Braylon.
man.
that
Congratulations.
is really great.
So that's
So stoked
yeah.
for you.
Keep sending us good news, man. I love when we get community good news.
Yeah,
That's
we
always
might
a
do
great
one
thing.
Yeah.
we'll do like a dedicated good news closer to Christmas, maybe.
Yeah,
Where all
that's
of
a
it's
great
good
idea. I like
news.
that.
How about that?
Great.
I like
that's
that
a great
idea.
Good tidings of great joy.
Exactly.
Hey, look at you. All right. Moving on to Discord, Mark Boucher. Do you guys have any particular standout personality quirks? For me, whenever someone says something in a conversation that reminds me of a song, title, lyric, or movie, TV, pop culture quote, I immediately feel the need to recite it out loud. This, of course, happens more often than not, and is much to the chagrin of people in my life.
That's funny.
I have basically the same thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
I
talked
do the
about
same
that
thing, too.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Me and
Like
Chris
we-
both do
we
that.
do
just
that all the
sing out
time.
loud if somebody accidentally says a lyric to a song,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
quotes, like, it doesn't even necessarily have to tie into what somebody just said. If it's just appropriate for the moment, I'm going to say
appropriate, inappropriate even.
It doesn't even have to be appropriate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't let
I
somebody
agree.
say carry on. I'm like, oh, carry on my wayward son. It's happening every single time.
There you go.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I do
definitely.
the exact same
Somebody,
thing.
I have a friend that says, oh my gosh, you would just die. Like, oh, you'll die when I tell you this. And like almost every time he says it, I'm like, I just died in your arms tonight. Gosh, what a song.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh.
Oh, good times, good times.
Wait,
all right, moving
Tim,
on.
do you have personality quirks?
Nope. No, same thing as you guys. I do song titles and movie quotes and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, I think we've all got that.
I have to have my gas end on a 0 or a 5.
Really?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I really try to
actually-
end on the dollar. But if for some reason I
Me
miss it,
too.
I'm going until I hit a 5 or a 10.
That's so
Yep.
funny. I've met quite a few people like that. It's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing, Gabe. That's actually really, really, really good. I'm glad you said that. I'm not alone.
You are not alone.
See? Look, see? Look. All right, Putty. How do you handle chipping away at your backlog of games when you're currently fixated on a game with no real end? Overwatch. I'm adding more games to my want to playlist each week, but whenever I boot up my machine, I go straight to Overwatch. Send help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough one.
I mean, I did that with Rocket League for a little while, like, because I just kept going back to it, and you just got to take that first step and just pop another game in and go.
Hurts so bad.
It hurts, but I mean, once I did that, because the one that I played was Witcher, and then I got hooked, and did that, and the next thing you know, it was Horizon Zero Dawn, and like then all this backlog started happening. So it just takes that one game that really gets you hooked, and you can still play Overwatch. It's a nice, easy pick up and go kind of a game.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get to the point where I'm feeling like, and my FOMO hates this, but like I'm feeling like there's going to be some games I'm not going to play. Like, I don't know, like
There's
Horizon,
too many, man. There's too many.
Quantum Break,
Oh, dude.
Dishonored 2, Watch Dogs 2. These are all, I know, these are all games I really, really want to play. But like,
yeah,
ain't gonna happen this year.
Right. Destiny, Call of Duty, Cuphead. Like, I mean, the fall is about to be on and freaking popping.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, absolutely.
So I don't know what to do. I have to, it's like I tell people, I encourage them when they're feeling down about something in their life. I'm like, you know what? Some things are, everything's not for everybody. And so every game is not for everybody. And so I just, unfortunately, I'm going to just miss some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
Chris,
advice.
I know you have a very strong stance on backlog.
Yeah, I don't worry about it. I just play what I want to play. Like I have
think that's
games. So
smart.
I bought Nier Automata after playing the demo and loving the demo, and I started playing it. It wasn't really catching me, but I knew that it was one of those slow start kind of things. And then I don't even remember what it was, but something else came out that kind of took a little bit of attention, and then way more Overwatch took attention, and then Lost Legacy, and now we're into Destiny 2, and I don't know if or when I'm ever going to get back to it, but if I do, great. If I don't, I'm having fun when I'm playing, so I'm not going to let myself feel guilty. It just kind of is what it is, but it's kind of the same thing where, because like right now, I'm really back in, love with Destiny, if you will. And so I even though I plan to play Call of Duty and I really want to play the campaign and I had a great time with the beta for the multiplayer stuff, I've actually thought about like, man, do I really just need to just wait till later? Because am I really going to be done with Destiny by the time that thing comes out? I don't know.
Right.
And I was going to play, I wasn't sure about Shadow of War or not. I'm still on the fence about that, but I was kind of like, well, I think I might get Origins, AC Origins, because it's the same team, if I understand, that did Black Flag, and that's easily my favorite Assassin's Creed game. So I was like, well, maybe I should just do that. And I was like, but I mean, I don't want to buy a game if I know if going in, I know I'm not going to play it. Well, then I'll hold off. But yeah, right. I just kind of play whatever I want to feel like playing at the moment. Yeah.
You should never feel guilty for playing any games, especially if you love it. Just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't sweat it.
Ed?
Especially with a game like Overwatch, I've found that because although on occasion I'll play by myself or just kind of go in and join a random game, I usually play with people from the community, and usually those people are not in the same time zone as me. And so usually that means I've got an hour or two in the late afternoon where I can play something else, and then I know that around 8, oh hey, Lem's on. In an hour, Gil and Stancil will probably be on.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a nice way to straddle the two, is for me at least, because I play Overwatch more with the community than I do on my own.
Right.
Yep.
Right. There you go.
Nice. Great question. Moving on. iDrake76. What has been a moment in gaming that overwhelmed you with emotions?
Playing
Ooh.
Assassin's Creed Unity, or not Unity. What's the side scroller that I rage quit?
India?
Oh, yeah.
Was it? No.
Yeah. A lot of emotions there.
Oh, yeah.
Not,
Rage emotions.
not quite the emotions he was talking about. Chris?
I don't know that I've ever been like overtaken with emotion. I've gotten emotional, I guess, to where it's like, oh, that kind of like hits you in the feels. But I've never gotten like, oh my gosh, I got to stop for a minute from like sadness or anything like that. I mean, probably the most emotional I've ever gotten is in The Last of Us.
The beginning or the end?
Yeah.
No, the beginning. The end was more of like you just sit there and look at the screen for a bit and you're trying to process like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What just happened?
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of like an emotional reaction, yeah, I think it would probably be the beginning part of it.
I think I would say, I want to say The Last of Us 2, but I think I actually want to say the ending.
You've already seen The Last of Us
Really?
2?
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Insider.
Yeah, exactly. Only because like I look around and there's 6 people in there with me all of a sudden, and we were all watching it together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like,
yeah.
what the heck? And so I'd have to say that
Yeah.
it was just like awesome to be in a group of people and enjoy all that together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, I'm the exact opposite. The first 10 minutes of The Last of Us, I was hit with, just because I have a daughter, and it's just like it does get you in the feels. I will say the most what kind of a emotion I had was the end of BioShock Infinite. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it was just so crazy, and you're just like, what just happened, or what did I just play? So it was.
Yeah.
I love when video games do that. Those are the games I like to gravitate to.
Yeah.
I like it. Ed, do you have one?
It's very similar to you guys, The Last of Us, although the beginning really hit me, but that scene with the giraffes always gets me.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. All right, we're going to keep moving a little bit. Let's shift over to Facebook. D-High. Kind of a long one, so bear with me. A few months at work, we started a Biggest Loser weight loss challenge.
Hey.
I had been wanting to change my lifestyle and get in better shape, so I signed up ASAP. There was a first prize of $250 to be won. Now, I must say that I'm hyper competitive, so I set my eyes on first and nothing less. I knew that if I could push myself for 3 months, that I would use that money and buy myself the one thing that I had yet to buy, a PS4.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some
must-
combos at McDonald's.
Well, I must say that it was hard to cut calories and all the favorite snacks that I craved. Someone must have set the difficulty on expert, because it was only made harder by the fact that my wife is pregnant. Snacks were plentiful in my house, but I pushed myself harder than ever for 12 weeks. I literally worked out every day. When it was all said and done, I was crowned the victor of the contest, having lost a grand total of 33.7 pounds.
Wow,
Nice.
good for you.
Well done.
Congratulations, man. I was handed the cash.
And y'all
and
got to
had my
understand,
arm
too,
raised
D-High's
in
not a big dude. Me and Chris met D-High. It's not like you'd be like, oh, yeah, you should lose 30 pounds.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, that's even harder to do. After work that day, I called around to see if anyone still had an Uncharted 4 PS4 bundle. As luck would have it, I found one. I went to the store and bought it ASAP. I would have settled for the PS4 by itself, but after listening to the high praise by you guys, I wanted to play Uncharted for myself. I just finished the game yesterday, and I must say I was absolutely blown away.
That's awesome.
I will be getting Lost Legacy as well. So my question for you fellas, Can each of you recommend a PS4 game for me to pick up? D, that is freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Seriously,
incredible.
that's like, congratulations to you. That is putting your mind to it and just go and going for it. And I love that attitude. I love that perspective, and never lose that.
Yeah.
And always just keep going for it, because that's where your reward comes in. And so I applaud you. I think that's amazing. And please play Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
That's my game.
It's a good one.
That is my game.
What say you, Ed?
Love that game.
Just because I know someone's going to say The Last of Us, I'm going to say Second Son.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Nice. Yes, that's a good
Chris?
It's hard because I want to say Horizon because it's the biggest one that was just around the corner, recently.
Mm.
And it made a real huge impression. Like, I pre-ordered the expansion and everything. I'm all in for more Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we're thinking like PlayStation exclusive, right?
Just something to play on his PS4.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a PS4, so
It doesn't
Give
have
him
to
a
be
game.
that,
Well, then if just to throw a little bit of multi-platform flavor in there, I'm gonna say Inside.
Ooh.
Because I really liked Inside, and it's not super long. It's not crazy hard difficult. I don't feel like, and if it is, YouTube, 22 seconds, just go look.
That's it.
And I can't really say whether you're gonna like it or not. It's just one of those things you're gonna either love it or hate it, but it's gonna make you be like, huh. So that happened. You should should give it. You should give it a shot.
Oh, man. I would say, shoot. After Second Son, play First Light.
Ooh, nice.
It was just so good. It was such a
was.
good add-on to that game.
Yeah.
So keep the party going with Second Son and play from Fetch's standpoint.
Nice.
Yep. Good question, D-High. Congratulations, brother.
that was great. Yeah, that's
man,
amazing.
that's so
congrats, sir.
Let us know what you buy when you put the 33 pounds back on.
After he's played all those games on his
Exactly.
PS4.
After all the eggnog and PlayStation playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Welcome
it's
to
about to
gamer
be
life.
beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Around the waistband.
Exactly. That's right. Brendan Myers, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary.
Hey.
And my wife says that she doesn't want me to spend money on her because we recently bought a house. Would you listen to her, or would you get her
You
a
better
gift
get her
anyway?
something anyway.
Funny, because I'm going through that exact same thing. Lauren's birthday is October 10th. We close on the 29th of September. It doesn't have to be a big,
Sure
extravagant
doesn't.
gift, man. Something that's meaningful, something that just, it can just be a very little something, especially if she, wants to save up for furniture or for whatever you need in the new house. Just a little something that just says, hey, I love you, I'm thinking of you, and happy
Exactly.
birthday.
It could be like a CD.
There you go.
Or make her a mixtape. Make her a mixtape.
Ooh, mixtape it.
And then you just play it with some candles burning.
There you
That's
go.
right.
She'll be like,
the
yeah,
new house.
exactly. She'll be like,
There you go.
is this the Destiny theme? Be like, well, see, I got a little carried away. This was going to be all about you, but
That's awesome.
well, I think
Anybody
everybody
else?
says get her a gift. You definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Especially the first
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Especially the first year. And
Because right now, Sarah and I, she says the same thing, and she's just, gifting isn't her love language. And so she genuinely doesn't really care about gifts. And I know that now. We're 10 years in. But for the first few years, she would say that, and I would still get her a little something, but then she would feel super bad because she didn't get me anything. Because, if it's like our birthdays are close together, oh, we did this, let's not get each other a birthday gift. Okay. And then I would, and she would feel really bad.
Oh, yeah.
But it's your first year. You don't know for sure yet. So I would definitely err on the side of get something.
yes.
Yeah, just something.
Mm-hmm.
Something she can unwrap and yeah.
And I like what
think
Tim
it'd be
said. It
nice.
ain't got to be expensive.
No,
Nope.
not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could
Not
be
at
flowers,
all. I think even if it's just a something that, hey, I remember that you like this, or this makes me think of you. Like something that's got a little meaning to it would go a long way, and it doesn't have to be
Or
anything
mixtape.
big.
Or
Or
mixtape.
mixtape. We're going with mixtape apparently. All right. 2 more. Tess McPherson. In the past, people were buried with the items they would need in the afterlife. What would you want buried with you so you could use it in the afterlife?
PS4.
PS4. Y'all know the afterlife is forever, right? I need a forever.
See, I did that there too.
Let's see. Oof, that's a tough one. Ed?
Yeah, it is.
Chemex, man.
What?
Chemex, my coffee brewer.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense
So,
for you.
do you need the whole thing? Do you need beans, a grinder, the Chemex, a cup?
There's got to be some afterlife blend that he can grab somewhere.
I'll just use like the ashes of those who were cremated.
Lord, mercy.
I'm just telling you that
good Lord.
they're making something that you don't even know about that you can be like, man, I wasted a wish on bringing this thing because they get something way better.
Yeah, exactly. Watch, there's like no electricity
it's
or
gonna
nothing
be like
now.
the dew around your mansion. It's gonna be coffee.
right.
You
There's
can
like
just
no
go out there with
mugs.
a mug and scrape it against the grass.
Yep. There you go.
I hope it's Guatemalan dew.
There it is. Guatemalan dew. That's your jam.
That sounds like a show title to me.
Guatemalan dew is your jam.
Jeez.
Guatemalan dew is my jam. Yeah.
That's the new sports drink.
I honestly, I don't know. I'd probably.
Good question, right?
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of want my PS4, but who knows if there's electricity or
I
internet?
know.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Can I
man.
get buried in a sports car
Oh, see, yeah, there you go.
so I can wake up and be like,
You can.
Skirt! That'd be dope.
I hope this car runs on rainbows.
And unicorns. Oh, that's great.
I would get the
That's
thing
good.
with the from Back to the Future 2 where I could just put trash and stuff in there.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Afterlife
that
trash.
afterlife trash.
Right.
I like it.
Did everybody go?
Yep. Chris said PlayStation.
Yeah, I'll go with that
okay.
because I really
Yep, he did.
don't know otherwise.
Yeah, I know exactly. Right. That's a tough one, but a good one. So I had to include
Yeah,
that.
that was
All
good.
right. Final question. Twitter at HolyHeadShop. Here in New York, fall is apple picking season, chock full of delicious treats made from them. Are there any equivalents for you guys?
My wife loves to go get pumpkins.
Yeah,
So-
man.
Yeah.
Gentry's
Yep,
Farms,
so
baby.
We'll go get pumpkins, and she likes to decorate the outside with pumpkins, the inside with pumpkins. We haven't carved
Yeah.
pumpkins in a couple years, but we'll probably go back to doing that a little bit. So it's
Oh,
all
nice.
about
Fun.
that.
Yeah, we hadn't
and
done that in a while
gingerbread
either.
lattes.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes, we're very suburban.
Very
Yeah.
suburban.
Tim?
We did apple picking one year, but we had to go up to Kentucky because there weren't any orchards that were open at the time. We did it for our anniversary, which is October 11th, and it was a lot of fun.
was?
Yeah, we had a good time. It was just, we at the time we brought Maggie because you could bring your dog and all that
nice.
stuff. So we had a little fall adventure out of it. But man, I just like Halloween candy and just Halloween and everything Halloween.
You
I
really
love
do?
it.
You love
Yeah.
Halloween.
We go all out for Halloween, man, with our Halloween
Yeah, you
parties
do.
and everything. Like Laura and I are going to go up to Performance and rent costumes. We got to figure out what we're doing
You
this
guys are
year.
going to go perform?
We're getting Piper her costume. No, we're not going to go perform. But I mean, last year we did it big. We had one of those inflatable theaters, and we played The Nightmare Before Christmas and all kinds of stuff.
Will you
And
be allowed
so
to do that at your new place?
I don't give a rat's. I'm doing it. Homeowners Association. I'm doing it.
That is funny.
That's hilarious.
So, but so like we always go big on Halloween parties, and I love it. I just love having people together, and then we can go trick or treating, and just it's so much fun. So that's what gets fall equals
Well, you're about
Halloween
to move
for
to
me.
a place with a lot more houses.
Yeah, there are a lot more houses, and they give out good candy
Yeah,
there too.
I think they give out Rolexes.
Yeah, I think so. They give full Hershey bars.
trick or
right?
treat, no.
I don't. Get yourself
I know,
something.
y'all
nice,
got the
man.
king size up in that neighborhood. Shoot.
Seriously, whatever.
Giving out scholarships to Belmont.
And you get to go to Vanderbilt, sir.
That's right.
Mm.
Here is the
Yeah, exactly.
deed. Enjoy.
I roll up there like, trick or treat. They're like, oh, give him the Miata. Mm.
I'll just bring you around just to freak
Exactly. I'm
everybody
just
out,
doing it
Gabe.
to scare people.
Be great.
I just stand
That's
behind
right.
Tim and then peek around like, boo! And they're like, ah! Like, aha! Trick. That's what I thought.
That's right. I need you in my life over at West Haven, brother. I will need you in
Get
my
the
life.
treats.
That's right.
That's awesome.
All right, carry on.
Chris?
We didn't have a particular thing that we would always go and do it for the fall specifically, but when we would get closer to the winter time, we always would go. When I was younger anyways, as a family, we would go a couple of times. I feel like a year we would go to a Holiday in the Park, which is like the holiday themed thing around Six Flags over Texas.
Oh, yeah.
we didn't
Six Flags
really-
still around? That's still a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is still a thing. I have to. Back when I had my house before we sold it, I actually was right by there, and honestly, it's just driving by on Highway 30. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, Six Flags," because I can't even tell you the last time I was there.
I mean, right?
It's-
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember at all. Because I mean, man, the older I get, the less and less roller coasters are a thing that I care to do.
Really?
And
Oh.
and
Oh,
so it's like,
I
well,
love roller coasters. Shoot.
Nah, man, they
What?
don't really do much for me
Oh, come
anymore.
on.
I mean, I'll ride
It'll
them,
hurt
sure,
my
but-
back.
and like when I go to Disney, there's definitely ones that I make sure that I ride, but it's not like I'm not going to go to Six Flags. Like I've ridden everything there like a bazillion times. Like I know it in backwards and forwards. I don't need to ride it again. I'm fine.
There you go.
I'm good.
For sure.
You carry
You
on.
youngsters can have all that
yes.
mess. That's for
I
that's a young man's
love
game.
roller coasters and all that.
Right.
Oh, right. I ride all of them except the ones that just drop you.
See, those
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
only
yeah.
No, you
ones
don't
that
like
are
the
any
drop
good.
ones.
That's what I don't understand.
How
All
is
you people
that
are like-
good?
The drops are
What?
pretty good.
Those are the only ones that are any fun, are the ones
Free
that have
falling
like
to your
that
death.
have like a fall or like drops of some sort. I don't want to be twisted around and flung around and flailing all about. That's not
Chris,
fun.
Chris,
I
you've
don't
blacked out,
enjoy
brother.
that.
You've blacked out.
I know. I can't do the spinning. I definitely can't do the spinning
Yeah,
ones.
the spinning
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
and the
Gets
throw
me
you
all kinds
around
of-
and go upside
forget
down and then
that.
go backwards. It's like that's all like
All
that
of them.
doesn't entertain me.
All of them.
Doesn't entertain me
Except
Gabe's
except
all
like the
in.
Tower of Terror type where you just fall and that's the end of the ride. That doesn't make any sense to me. But
Yeah.
everything else, I want it. The Hulk, all of it. Give it to me. Yes.
Right?
Nice.
Superman, Batman, take them.
Yes.
I'll have
I'll
it.
have
Come on.
two.
all. Y'all can have that mess.
Well, you can
Man.
hold
Not interested.
Yeah, you can hold everybody's purse.
Purses. They're man purses. They're mercies.
Right.
everybody
Ed, did you answer your fall thing?
I'm just gonna say cider and caramel apples.
There you go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yes, I see where you're going with that. I don't like caramel,
Yeah.
but
What?
I don't know.
What is wrong with you, dude?
But do you like caramel?
That does taste a little
No,
better.
right?
Are you a pumpkin spice guy?
No, man. That's Jenny. I don't need the frills in my situation.
Yeah, right. The frills in my situation. There it is. Title. Boom.
I don't need
Print. Cut. Print. Wrap that.
That's funny.
Mhm.
That's good. Come on, man. Give us a fall thing.
I said it already. Mine was pumpkin
No,
spice
you already
lattes
said
and all
it.
that
That's right. Gentries.
for the wife.
And
Yeah.
pumpkins and all that fun stuff. That is it, everybody. Thank you for all the questions. Totally appreciate it. That was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
We got some good news. We got all kinds of good news up in the air and
Yeah.
Right?
good questions. So but keep bringing that. We love good news.
All right, so this is kind of a weird question. The question of the week for you guys this week. So we're not going to do like any amount of money because obviously every man's got a number. But for $300, is there a genre that you wouldn't play, even for $300? Someone's like, "Here's $300. You got to play this kind of game," and you'd be like,
For how
"You got
long?
to play the game.
Yeah.
You got to beat it." Is
Oh.
there like for me? For $300, I'm not gonna play a VR horror game.
You wouldn't?
No,
Really?
not for 300 bones. No way.
Wow.
Yeah, you would.
All right.
Who said? No, I
he
would not.
wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. No, he would
VR
not.
horror?
VR horror. Yeah, that would.
Wow.
eat
That-
me
not
down.
for $300, Doc.
You need a couple diapers.
And that's
for
why I
that
say
one.
I don't want to do an infinite number. Like if somebody gonna be like, here's $5 million, of course I'm playing the whole doggone thing and just wet myself all over the place. Cause I wet myself all the way to the bank.
right. Because it's a couple million. Yeah,
I
why
mean,
not?
you played that demo though, and you wouldn't play it for a few more hours for $300?
Nah, man, I don't think so. Nah,
Really?
man, not a game. That was like you're just watching an experience happen. But if like somebody was like, here, sit down. Yeah,
Put this on
PlayStation
and
Morpheus.
Yeah.
And here's Resident Evil 7.
Wow.
Beat this game. Not for $300. Chris?
Dang.
I
JRPG?
don't know. I'd have to seriously think about it. No, it's not a big deal. But if I were gonna pick one, it would probably be some puzzle game of some sort, something like The Witness or something else.
Where for $300
Which
you wouldn't play? You're like, don't even feel like.
Well, yeah,
dealing with it.
because quite frankly, and I'm just being real here. Like, I'm not gonna finish it because I'm not gonna be able to make it out. I'm not smart enough to figure that kinds of crap
Yes,
out.
you are.
Like, no, I'm
Yes,
not.
you
I mean,
are.
You
like,
don't talk about my
eventually,
friend like
yeah.
that. You don't talk about
I'm
my
saying,
friend like
like-
that.
Yeah, I'm saying yeah. If I'm playing it for like 2 months straight, eventually, yes, I'll probably figure it all out. But it's gonna feel like forever. It's like, nah, that's not worth it.
It's not worth. I know that's right. Not worth the
Wow.
time.
No, it's not worth it. I got more stuff to do.
Dang. I'll play whatever you want for $300.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
It's not
Give
the,
me that.
but it's
give
not
me
the
that
play
money.
it
I'll
part.
play
It's
whatever.
the you've got to beat it part. That's
Yeah, that's the
issue.
thing. Is like I'm with you,
I don't
Chris. I
care.
couldn't finish The Witness. I wanted to, but some of those puzzles I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Right.
But
YouTube.
I would.
But yeah,
Exactly.
I'd make it work. Yeah,
See?
yeah. So is there a
Yeah.
genre out there you wouldn't play for $300?
Nah.
You play all of them. VR horror.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd play
Everything.
that for free.
Oh, will you send
Yep.
your PSVR to
I
Ed,
play-
please? So you can see him be scared and wet the bed.
Yeah,
I'm
please.
gonna send it to you at
No,
some
that's
point.
not
Let's
happening.
do it.
Tim,
Yeah, I'm right there with Ed. Give me that money. I'll play anything.
you play anything.
Right?
I will play anything because I just like games, man.
Like
love
I don't
games.
even know, and this is gonna sound like a shocker. I don't know if somebody said, "Hey, here's $300. You have to beat Skyrim." I might be like,
Done.
Really?
Done and
I mean,
done.
What?
It's just like that's a lot of time on an old game. When I got to play it on the Switch or something. Like, ugh. I just wouldn't want to do it.
Wow.
And I'm not saying $300 not a lot of
Nah.
money. Not like I couldn't use $300. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right.
Sure,
right.
sure.
that doesn't really have anything to do with it. It's just more
The
about
time.
the time that it's gonna take to do it.
Yeah.
Like my time's. I mean, it's not like I'm like out there curing cancer or nothing, but I feel like my time's more valuable than the amount of time I can
Yes.
suck it into
Yeah,
that game.
I understand that. I understand that.
I'm no Paolo over here, you know. I'm no Paolo.
exactly.
That's
Exactly
right.
right. Let us know, is there a game genre out there that you wouldn't play even for $300? Just because you'd be like, nah, Doc, I'm not doing that.
awesome.
Hey, you heard me and Chris. We not playing some stuff. Tim and Ed
They playing
are going to
playing
go
some
stay with
stuff,
some friends
right?
in West Virginia that they've never met before.
That's right. You and me, Ed, whitewater rafting. Let's do it.
Deal done.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys see?
Who's paying us?
Did you guys see that there's a handball 16 for free on
What the
PSN?
freak is that?
No.
Handball 16.
Handball
There you-
16.
Well, I just
They're
so happen
free.
to have my PlayStation turned on. Let me go find this.
Yeah,
And it's free?
It's for free. Handball.
Oh, it's gotta be good.
16. Mm.
yeah, it's gotta
They're
be
a year
awesome.
behind and like 3 different kind of sports behind.
and about 30 decades behind too.
Handball.
Wow.
Handball.
Well, you know where to find us. Facebook.com. I'm just kidding. I'm Gabe Patillo.
Oh, we're ending?
Oh, do you not want to? We don't have to go anywhere if you don't want to, Ed.
Nice.
We're 5
Oh,
years
that's
old,
awesome.
man. It's getting late. We got to go to bed.
That's right.
Right?
Or
We're
play
gonna start
Destiny
getting
2
cranky.
or play
I know. I'm
something
probably
else.
going to get a bowl of cereal
Right.
if I'm being completely honest with myself.
You and the cereal.
sounds
I'm
so
in.
good.
That sounds awesome. That sounds
Just
great.
saying. It's the way to go right before bed. Unless you're lactose intolerant.
Lactose
That's why
intolerance.
that's why I have almond milk. Exactly.
All right.
So on Dutch oven the whole situation.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Your no
That's-
frills situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, no frills in my
Oh
situation.
my gosh.
I got pumpkin spice. I don't need frills.
Yeah, the suburbs made of frills. Come on, man.
Right. Exactly.
I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. Unless you want to say something else, Ed.
Nah, man, I just love this.
that is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we up out this thing. Peace.
Street 2.